I don't care if you just finally got it. Interspecies Reviewers is up in you. You know I'm fapping to it all night. Up, that's that light. Black of the black. Oh, Cthulhu Prodigy coming to you live and direct from the beach with Smoky Out Fam with all that dang shit on my left. And in the world of dancing.
Yeah, we got that vintage for you. And like that Usher meme that's out there. Watch this.
All right, on my far right, engineering on the ones and twos. Choking people out on the threes, opposed Chronos.
The property with the third infinity base that we built together is on sale right now. It's on the market. So if anybody needs to buy a house to live in and have the old infinity base, you can buy it. So, all right.
Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
That kid really thought a Rolodex was a knockoff Rolex. He really did, man. He really did. Holy shit.
No.
Yeah.
We are old.
That was sad. That was really, really sad. But we're also really, really old, apparently. So, there's that.
Clearly.
I'm gonna have to have a history lesson with my son.
Listen here, you little shit.
Damn.
Back in my day,
Don't talk to kids like
phone
that.
didn't have a phone book. We had to have it on a little white card. We had to flip through it.
Up and all right, got some statistics, and my oldest daughter is in the chat. First in the chat. Hello.
Look at that.
Yeah. All of a sudden now I'm cool and shit. Now that she's all older, I'm just saying. When she was younger, I wasn't cool at all. I was some guy just telling her what to do. Anyway.
There you go.
Listener of the week would be Ellie Jade Glenn. Thank you very much for listening. We definitely appreciate it.
Good shit. All right. Old Ninja, you usually pouring out something frothy, something malty. You always brown or yellow. What you doing for Hoops this week?
There's nothing. Not pouring out nothing this week. Just
Ain't nobody died.
Except for, we're going to pour out a little something for the victims, the Highland Park, Illinois victims. There we go.
You're not the Chicago people, right?
Yeah, some people took
media.
Well, we could
No, they're a suburb of Chicago.
It's not even really it's pretty far to be a suburb of Chicago. It's like 25, 30 miles. It's like saying that, I don't know, Livermore is a suburb of Oakland,
It's far away, and from what I heard, Michael Jordan used to live there, so it's pretty.
Well, it was him and a couple of other Bulls players,
Yeah,
I think Scottie Pippen. Some other people lived out there as well.
It's very affluent, and they want to make sure to let people know that, or at least try to give the illusion of, it's so close to Chicago that's probably gang violence, but it's nowhere close to Chicago. I guess sort of maybe, but it's not really, and they just need to say that it's Highland Park and not Chicago. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
clearly.
Well, I just wanted to check and see, because I saw earlier today that Carlos Santana had passed out on a stage, and I wasn't sure if it was like health reasons, but looks like it was from heat exhaustion, which I'm glad to hear, because that man can make a guitar cry. At least that's what Wyclef said.
Yeah, he's pretty up there. Like when I first saw the story, I was like, oh, I hope he didn't die. But yeah, it's heat exhaustion. It can still get you though. So, but still.
Sure can. Dude, I saw him at Shoreline Amphitheater when I was still in the Bay, maybe about 2-3 years ago. He can still fucking rock a crowd. So
yeah.
If you have never seen him in concert live, go do that ASAP.
I saw him. Worth it. I saw him for free. I saw him at the. There's a free concert at Golden Gate Park. It was headlined by Dave Matthews Band, and Dave Matthews is like, "Hey, I got a friend of mine. He kind of lives in the area. I kind of want to bring him out. Y'all want me to bring him out?" And everyone goes crazy. And Carlos Santana, and he played for like a good hour. Just him.
God damn.
Well, him and a little bit backup, but it was awesome. It was free. It was awesome.
That's good. That's good shit. Was this Outside Lands?
No, it was at Golden Gate Park.
Oh, okay. Usually Outside Lands is in Golden Gate Park too, but that's
okay. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but I don't think Outside Lands is free.
No.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's it up there in price.
Yeah, that shit. They be wanting to have Coachella prices and that shit sometimes.
Oh yeah. No, this is free. All you had to do was show up. It was awesome.
I would like to learn about his history, Carlos Santana, because I don't really know much about him except he's a fucking amazing guitar player.
Dude, he played when he was like, I don't know, a late teenager or something like that at Woodstock.
God damn.
He's been playing for a hot ass minute. And that to me, that Supernatural album, like late 90s, 99,
Yeah.
that shit put him back on the map with like our entire
What's that
generation.
guy's name? Rob, whoever it is. What was his name? Rob something, who's not popular anymore, but Prodigy's frozen. He's in the Upside Down. Somebody play the music, get him back. Maybe it's some Santana. Will Santana bring him back? Oh shit, it's me.
Supernatural, if you ain't listened to it.
Sorry, everything just dropped for a second. We're back now.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I was making a joke about how you dropped. Yeah.
Damn, all that stuff about Carlos Santana is lost in the wind.
No. That's
all right.
Most of it still came
No,
through.
it's
I made a really funny joke. Hopefully funny. That people that are recorded will hear and nobody else.
There you go. All right, good shit. Let's dive on in. God damn it. We up in this motherfucker one more again. We had a long 4th of July weekend. Where do y'all want to start? Blue, actually, you set us off. Where do you want to start first, man? We got a lot to catch up on.
You know what? We haven't talked about this at all, but I know Cronus isn't caught up on the show with the boys because holy shit. Every episode gets danker and danker as it goes, and you're like, oh, they can't get any more danker than that. Then bam, it drops fucking dankness on you. But yeah, Cronus I think it's pretty far behind. I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah,
but
I need to catch up. Sorry, y'all know my situation that happened. So
yeah, it's definitely something you got to catch for one. Because man, holy shit! Look,
Do
there's literally
some spoiler-free stuff. Do some spoiler-free stuff on season 3.
Oh shit! I'm trying to think. All right, so. First of all, there's a new character on there. His name is Soldier Boy, and every time he says his name or everybody says his name, I can't help but say, Soldier Boy, kill him. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, Soldier Boy is played by what's the name of the guy? He's from
Jason.
Oh god,
Jason Ackles.
He's from that show on CW that in the Supernatural.
Yeah,
he's from Supernatural, and he's killing it in his role. He's kind of like a knockoff Captain America meets like Winter Soldier type deal. He's pretty fucking badass, super strong, crazy strength and stuff like that. But yeah, like he's got motherfuckers scared. Like there's like people who was on his team are fucking running from him. Like this guy makes Homelander look like a little bitch. Like holy shit. But there's this one scene where they have this thing called Superheroes Fest or it's basically a goddamn superhero orgy.
Hero Gasm.
I think
Hero Gasm.
Hero Gasm. That's what it was. And the shit that happens there is like, dude, what the fuck am I watching? Like, goddamn, it's so fucking crazy. But no, like we get to learn a little bit more about Homelander, and then like some of the people are taking shit to get powers. It's just wild, man. Everything's just fucking nuts on the show, and it's hard not to spoil things just because it's like one thing leads to another, so you can't really go too deep into it. But what's your guys' take on it so far? Are you guys even caught up? Like other than I think the next episode drops on Fridays.
Drops tomorrow.
I'm way behind. I haven't watched any of season 3 quite yet. But go ahead.
Oh my god, man! Yeah, I've been watching them, and it's been wild. Like holy shit, it's just been super wild. Just like borderline NC-17 type stuff. Just
the first episode where I had to stop watching was like, you gonna tell me that there's a dude's gonna walk in another dude's dick? Like, right?
Yeah, man.
Like right now, I need
I'm
some
sorry.
time.
I'm sorry. Did you say he walks into another man's? What?
Yep.
Yes.
Walk there like the love canal.
A dude walks into another dude's dick. So. Yeah.
He sure do. Yeah.
First
nobody
pause or nothing, huh?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's literally the first 6 minutes of the show.
It's implied that they don't need to say pause.
Yeah.
He didn't walk in there by mistake. He walked there with a purpose.
Play. No pause.
Yeah. Yeah, no pause.
They're like, put this shit in fast forward. I'm about to walk up in your urethra. I thought, wait, girls have urethra.
Yes, we both do.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait, I don't want to say something dumb.
It was requested, so he got what he wanted. Just saying.
And trust me,
Just
when
be
you watch
careful
that
what you work
episode, you're gonna feel something crawling on you, man. It's you know, like when you see like bugs crawling like somebody in a movie and you just feel like something's crawling on you. It's that same fucking sensation, basically, except in your penis.
Yeah, like
Ooh,
a
it's gonna
dude
be-
climbing.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it was
Dang.
wild. It starts out that way, then it gives you just a little episode to kind of recover, and then they ramp it right the fuck back up.
Yeah.
Shit goes fucking wild.
One cool thing, I mean, with A-Train, he's the guy who can run really fast, or the speedster. He gets a little bit character development in this series or this season, but he's still a fucking piece of shit, which is crazy. But there's something that happens later on with him, and it's like, fuck, man, like this is fucked up. But yeah, and then we got people fucking octopuses, and
It's a lot of
wow.
dank shit. I mean, I would say there's a lot more
octopus
characters.
fucking? You said octopus fucking? Okay.
Bro, you gotta watch the series. I mean, Blue keeps giving shit away, but yeah, I mean, there's
still so much
octopus shit. There is a lot, but there's a lot more character development. We actually learn a lot more, like later on in the series, in this season. You know a lot about Billy Butcher. Like you learn some shit that happened to him, and you're just like, holy shit. And then like, you learn
touch on it in other seasons, but they really show what
they show you full on what's going on. And we learn more about Starlight as well. Like there's more stuff, the path that she took in order to get to the Seven, which was, you know, probably the most sane, the most righteous, the most like, you know, heartfelt kind of stuff.
Needed that evangelical vote.
Yeah, and so, but it does have like a little bit of like, you know, not tragedy, but it's just kind of like, you know, she's kind of like one of those Disney stars, like, you know, Christina, Britney. She has literally like her story is very similar to that. And then like she gets older, and then things go red. So we see that with her when she's confronted with her past. We have new players, just shit ton of new characters, shit ton. There's some characters I thought died. They're still in this season, so that's kind of weird. We learn more about Black Noir because before we didn't know shit. We actually learned more about him. He's still a mystery, but we learned a bit more about what's going on.
He might be a little bit crazy. I'm not sure if you've seen the memes that have been floating around, but it shows like Noir and like he's like on the cover of Space Jam. I love that one. Like he's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Totally.
Are they still doing it like weekly, just one episode, or are there more than one weekly dropping per week?
No, it's weekly. It's one. The first one, like when the season premiered, it was 2 episodes. Then ever since then, it's just been one. So I think this week might be the season finale. I think. Yeah, so it's been a few episodes, but it's just been wild, just like more like bits and pieces, and you know, we learn a bit more about Frenchie, a little bit more, and his little weird kind of love triangle kind of. No, well, yeah, when he was basically a hitman and like the stuff that he's kind of into, but that a lot of people's past come back to haunt them if we haven't known their past already. So we knew about Kimiko. We knew about Huey because it starts with Huey. So we don't see a lot of that. But we see the characters that we didn't get a whole lot of. We see a lot more of them. I mean, we see more from Black Noir, but not too much more. He's still kind of very. And,
you know,
we see...
A quick little thing. Something question about the boys and Huey. So Huey's dad is played by Simon Pegg, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
But in the comics, apparently in the comics, Huey is purposely drawn to look like Simon Pegg. Like they drew him as the character as Huey, but he plays the dad on the show. Which plays the dad
because the creators. Yeah, the creators love him so much that they put him in the comic, and then when they made the show, they brought him onto the show. So, and then it's also other weird stuff about other characters, because there's some stuff that I found out that I was like, what? Wait, what? Especially when you watch Hero Gasm and you find out the truth of the comic. I think it's like forced just for that event. in the show, it's only one episode. So
hey, old ninja, just FYI, you are breaking up more and more.
I'm
probably gonna lose.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
Quick one. This one's a little bit of a spoiler, but there's a guy, a hero from I think it was season 1, but the guy who can stretch out his penis, he shows up again. Remember the guy who like
he was dead.
He kind of choked out mother's milk with his penis, and he like I think he like set him on fire or some shit, I believe.
I thought they blew him up.
He makes a comeback.
Yeah, his name is Love Sausage. Yeah,
well, that's what
his name's Love Sausage.
That was a name that what's the name gave him?
Oh damn.
But that's his name in the comics. His name is Love Sausage in the comics.
Holy shit! But
there's a lot of social commentary, a lot of parallels with the whole Fox. They have like a they have like a they have a parallel for the Snyderverse like phenomenon. They have not Snyderverse, the hashtag restore the Snyderverse. They have like a whole. It's real quick, but they make like a little light on that the whole MAGA type situation deal. But it's led by Homelander. They have like a Fox News parody type thing. There's like a lot of that kind of shit is in the show. A lot of like kind of what they pull from real life social commentary stuff is in the show pretty heavily. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 4.
Oh my gosh!
I gotta catch all the way the fuck up because usually it's about an 8-episode season, something like that. 6, 8 episodes.
Yeah,
8 episodes.
It's roughly been about that much. It's been like 8 or 9 episodes so far.
Damn. Okay.
And they dropped 2 on the first week. So it's been a few episodes. It's been a bunch.
Dude, I've heard nothing but good things about season 3. I just I gotta remember to catch up, man.
Wait, did anybody ever finish watching more of the Boys Diabolical?
Oh, I finished it.
Yeah, unfortunately, no.
Oh,
I finished it.
That's just fucking crazy. Was it crazy?
It was, but if you watch the very last episode, it actually ties into season 3.
Yeah, it does.
It's not major, but there's a little. If you didn't watch Diabolical, it's not a must watch. But if you watched it, there's like a nod to it in season 3. So it's like, oh, it looks like these events actually happened. So it's pretty interesting.
And that's on Amazon as well, right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon as well. And I guess they're doing another season. I guess they're doing a spin-off. There's a lot of more Boys content is coming. So
good shit. All right.
I tell a hot mile for that. Turn the fan on.
Good shit. Blue and sticking with shows and streaming. I know Old Ninja and I think Blue.
Oh yeah.
Chronos may be a little behind. We could do spoiler free, but season 4 Stranger Things part 2 fucking dropped, came out, hit you in all the feels, made you go on an emotional roller coaster. What y'all think? God damn it.
Well, I just finished it today. Like I watched what was it, like episode 8 yesterday and episode 9 today.
Yeah.
Man, it was nuts. Like holy shit. I was actually kind of surprised at the ending, but like, you know, I mean, you kind of knew it was going to happen, but yeah, it was crazy. It was like I got a little teary-eyed toward the end. I'm like, oh shit, like this is kind of fucked up. And but I was like, oh. Then also there was like a skip in time. I was like, wait, what the fuck? But yeah, this season's been really crazy and it's fucking scary too. Like holy shit, like Vector is
Vecna.
He's basically a walking penis. Yeah, Vecna.
That's disgusting. Now I can't look at him the same way.
Got a little tip on his nose. But yeah, what's your guys' take on it? Oh, did you?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's been a very interesting season, especially since everyone's kind of in different spots. But I kind of knew like something was going to happen to one of them. And I kind of guessed pretty early on. So, you know, I wasn't too surprised, but it was still kind of sad to watch because they did a decent homage to that character. And I was like, okay, cool. But like I still felt like it still feels like there's still more pieces to this puzzle. And I mean, it ends like it's not a cliffhanger, but it's definitely a foreshadowing what's to come. And I mean, we already know, you can tell that the story's not complete, but it definitely gave you a very big piece of this and what's going on. Like a lot of stuff happens that will definitely impact the future of the series. So it's gonna be interesting how they tie everything up. Kate Bush was still running, but now we got Metallica up in the running, so you can't count out Metallica. So, but yeah,
I wonder what their numbers are gonna do.
Yeah,
it's already gone up, which is crazy because it's already a really popular song.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean it's the Stranger Things boost. You know what I mean? Because it's a popular ass fucking show. Kate Bush. 35 years later, you saw her being number ones on the chart and shit. But here's my favorite thing that the Duffer Brothers did with this one. They really just raised the fucking stakes. Like, this shit felt movie quality, like, and not just low budget, big budget movie quality. The final episode is well over two full hours.
Oh yeah.
And so, but with special effects, with CGI, with practical effects, I mean, it feels like they just go for broke on this shit. And it was more movie than TV in a fucking lot of ways. So I give them props on that. All of the characters had their time to fucking shine, which I loved about this one. Season 4 might be... And I still need to see Boys Season 3, but this might be my favorite streaming season I've seen, period. Like, I don't know if I've seen anything better than this. And yes, some of them felt like movies, but I was floored all the way around with this goddamn thing. I won't spoil anything, but goddamn, they brought it. They brought it all the way, and I'm expecting even fucking more in season 5 when I think that drops maybe a year from now and some change. They got to do it while these actors are still semi-young. Some of them pushing 30 plus now, trying to play high school kids, but
they got 4 years and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I was gonna say these kids look like adults, especially was it Will and Mike? They both look like grown ass man.
Yep.
Like they don't look like kids at all.
Will is tall. Like Will, I think he feels like he's about as tall as a Hopper. You know what I mean? So I mean he's like a skinny guy, but he's a grown ass man. And the other funny thing is, Sadie Sink, the redhead,
Max,
who plays Max. Yeah, I mean I thought it was. You'll have to double check me, but I think she's like 19, 20, 21, something like that. Like she's not a high school student anymore, of course. So anyway, it's just weird. They can still pass for now, but that clock is ticking like Vecna's fucking grandfather clock. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it's a quick question: when the Vecna clock go off, does that tone sound very familiar to you guys? Because every time I hear it, I'm like, I know that from somewhere. I swear I know that from somewhere, other than it being a clock. But you know where that sound comes from? At least to me, where I think it comes from. It's the old school PlayStation boot up.
What?
Like if you go back and listen to it, like it's just a quick little. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but it's the earlier PlayStation boot up sound. Let me see if I can find like an audio clip of the PlayStation booting up. Because every time I hear it, I'm like, dude, that's a PlayStation sound for sure.
God damn. All right. Also, I will say this though too.
I typed in booty instead of boot up.
I mean, booty's better.
I mean,
there you go. But other than the great '80s movie music that it's like promoting and whatnot, and everybody's re-downloading it, and new fans are finding it, and all that other stuff, especially younger folks that weren't even alive during the '80s. The other thing that you should be doing if you really fucking love Stranger Things is watching some of these '80s fucking horror movies that they're referencing all the goddamn time. The Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, the Thing. Obviously Nightmare on Elm Street. Like they keep on referencing 80s fucking horror. And if you like Stranger Things, go back and watch some of these fucking classics.
Also, even if you like, what Netflix did with the nostalgia of the show, watch Fear Street. Fear Street is a trilogy of movies. So it starts in the 90s, but then it goes back in time after each iteration and then loops back, so it tells a complete story. So it does like an interesting thing with going back into the 90s and representing the music and some of the shows. Like one of them, they're in a mall and there's a Sam Goody and there's like a Orange Julius and shit like that. Like I was like, oh shit. Also, some of the stars from Stranger Things are in Fear Street. So like Maya Hawke's in it. Sadie Sink is in it. There's a couple other like new faces. I think there's one more guy that's from Stranger Things. He's in it as well. So it's pretty interesting. And they're each movie's like 90 minutes or something. So
good shit. Yeah, I always intended to watch that. It's on my list, but I just never got around to it. I'm gonna try to fucking make that happen. God damn it.
Yeah, I think if you as soon as you finish Stranger Things, just start Fear Street. There you go.
Good shit. All right, let's get Cronus up in here. God damn it. What you been up to? Or where you want to go?
I've been watching things that I can't talk about because they're embargoed still.
God damn it.
One of them is embargoed until like Jesus Christ, till like basically August, and the next one's embargoed until like later on this month. But that one is actually something that's going to be sort of like Stranger Things. So hopefully it has like the same sort of appeal for people. We will see. Other than that,
that was the time traveling girls, right? Because the trailer dropped for it already.
Yeah, Paper Girls. I think Paper Girls has a shot to at least bring in some of the nostalgia from Stranger Things. But we'll see how the rest of the world sees it. I've only watched like one. I need to watch some more, but yeah, I've been watching another one. Other than that one, way more with Kay because that's the one she wanted to watch. I've been catching up on comics a lot. It's been kind of amazing because I'm getting my comics shipped from the Bay Area down here because Prodigy is like, there's no good comic shops. I'm like, all right, I believe you, I guess. Like, but also we can make our own comic shop probably at this point. So
yeah, we might have to.
Yeah, we might have to. Just saying, Blacker Than the Blackest comic shop could happen.
There you go.
Comic books in the front, Rescue Rangers in the back. What's the name of your charity again?
Rescue Residents? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah. Also, like podcasting out of there would be neat too. But yeah, because I know that some places do that. Like they have like a physical spot and like you can podcast. Like I think Elusive Comics had like a.
They did.
Yeah,
they had a podcast room. Yeah, they had a podcast room. It was like a studio round table. It was actually set up pretty cool. And then they moved. So I was like, damn it. Yeah.
Dude, tell me in the world of comics what you liked in terms of what you've been reading lately.
Yeah, so what I've been reading lately, I've been really staying on top of as much as possible, like the Batman sphere of comics, which has been great because I mean, Batman's been really, I mean, it's been good for like a long time, but they just keep coming like hit after hit after hit, like with their comics. As far as I'm concerned, like ever since like the New 52s when I've been like really started reading Batman comics, and they haven't really like gone off like at all. Like they've been like had solid storylines the whole time. Right now they have a really cool thing with like Deathstroke that's involved, and like Ra's al Ghul gets killed, and it's like they put him on Deathstroke, and you know it's like a whole thing of like Deathstroke versus the League of Shadows, and it's Deathstroke Inc. versus the League of Shadows, and it's been pretty amazing. And what's cool is that it's one of the few times where I was already reading the other comics that were like surrounding this event, so I was already reading Robin, which like read into it. So I was like, all right, cool. So I already know about like this whole like lead up. And then I was already reading Batman, and I was already reading like a couple other ones too, like I Am Batman and like the other Bat comics. So it was pretty cool. And like having like, you know, Ghostmaker in there as well. Like I think Ghostmaker is like one of the more interesting new characters in Batman because basically he's like Bruce Wayne. Like he's a badass, but I think he has better tech. Yeah, Batman, especially now because Batman's broke. Batman's broke. I'm just saying. And you know, Ghostmaker still has his money. So yeah, and like they have like a whole Batman like team now of like people that want to be like on Batman's team called Batman Inc. And it's really cool to like make like a Batman organization that's international to like protect more than just fucking Gotham because obviously there's more problems than just Gotham. Yep. So I thought that was really neat, and like having the League of Shadows and like the Demon and all that shit. It's still ongoing right now. Like it's still like really good comics that are still being written right now. I think I was starting to read like the latest I Am Batman from probably a couple weeks ago, which is the black Batman, but he's in New York. So, yeah, he's one of Lucius Fox's kids because Lucius Fox gets all of Bruce Wayne's money. So him and his whole family like have to decide like what to do with his money. And one of the kids are just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be fucking Batman. So he becomes Batman, and he ends up leaving Gotham and going to New York to be the Batman of New York. And he has his own like unique rogues gallery so far. He has one main villain so far, and he seems to be like pretty legit. I think that's one of the main things that I think Marvel gets wrong with like making these semi knockoff characters. Even DC does it too, like having like these knockoff characters. Is that all right? If you're gonna have a knockoff character, you need to like write them well. And they need to have their own unique rogues gallery. If you're missing either of those two things, then it's gonna fucking flop hard as fuck. Because nobody's gonna be like nobody cares about the Batman of China, beating up the Joker of China. You know what I mean? Like we already have like the normal version. Like why would you do that? Like you need to have they need to be unique. So I think that they've done a way better job with I Am Batman with, unique rogues gallery, unique issues that he's facing, and also having him through like the whole story arc of like after Joker War and having like I forget what the fuck the name of the thing is. But basically they hire like a consulting firm to like police Gotham. I forget the name of it right now because I've been drinking.
I remember that.
Yeah, but
it's not the Crows, is it?
No. It's like I forget what the fuck they're called, but they're called like Peacemakers and shit like that. And like Peacemaker 1 was like a former injured, I think it was an army guy, and he actually had a really cool story too. Hopefully he comes back later on because he like loses an arm and his arm becomes like this fucking crazy like weapon thing, and he's like super like amplified. Anyway, go ahead, Prodigy.
I was gonna say two characters that I wanted to see back from I think around the Joker War were Clown Hunter and Punchline. Either one of them making any cameos or rumblings?
So Clown Hunter is still around. He's basically getting trained by Ghostmaker, which is cool. And so Ghostmaker is directly training Clown Hunter, and he's also helping out, like basically being the boss of Batman Inc. So he's got like two main roles.
Nice.
And then also the other one you were talking about was Punchline. She is in the Joker comics, like the very end. And so the Joker comic is another one that's really good because after the Joker Wars, Joker sort of dies, but not really. He's doing his own thing, and then Jim Gordon has to go like hunt him down. And so that's it. Because then that introduces Vengeance, who is Bane's clone daughter.
I love it.
And who is like fucking insanely strong. But what I mean by insanely strong, like she'll like pick up a dude and just like rip their like limbs off.
Yes.
And she's basically like genetically engineered to want to kill the Joker. And so that whole storyline has been like very interesting. I hope Vengeance comes back. The last I checked, it was like the end of her. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, isn't Vengeance the name of Batman in the last Batman movie?
Well, I have Vengeance. Yeah, that's what's really cool about it, right? They got to do the play on words thing. But yeah, I like that they're they made the Joker comic, and that's where you get to see if you're interested in Punchline, you have to read the Joker comics because at the end of Joker Wars, she gets arrested, and it's like, well, what happens to her? Well, you got to read the Joker comics. So
nice. Yeah. Okay, I'll pick that up.
And it's a worthy read.
Good shit.
Everybody was at war. We had Robin War, Batman War, Joker War,
like the Bane Wars. Yeah, it's a lot.
Whole fucking lot of fucking wars. Now, I did want to ask, just sticking with comics a little bit, and I didn't read this. I'm a little out of the loop. Kronos, did you check out this controversial Miles What If one? We didn't even talk about it.
So I didn't. I probably have it somewhere. I didn't read it specifically, but people were like really mad about it. But I'll make two main points. Okay, so the first one was I read initially that they made Asgard ghetto, which if they did, then yeah, there's really no excuse for that, like at all. Because if you're gonna make Miles Morales into What If, why would you make Asgard quote unquote ghetto? It's just it's really lowbrow and like really like a really bad racist trope for black people.
Yeah.
Second point, though, was kind of more positive, sort of, is that they've done a whole string of Miles Morales What If comics for like the past 6 months. And this is the only one that has caught any sort of notoriety. Like there's a fucking Miles Morales one where he's the Hulk that I have. You know,
are the other ones in general? And I know you haven't quite read the Thor one, but are the other ones like really really good? Just in your opinion, or
I haven't really read any of them, unfortunately. I have them, but I haven't really read them, and now they're like in storage, so I can't really fucking read them right now.
So it looks, I just did a quick Google search, and it looks like there's 5 of them so far. So he's been Miles Morales, Captain America. He's been Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's been the Hulk. The Thor one just dropped, and the next one, I think it's just him. Are all of them together for the Avengers?
Yeah, it's been a few of them, and like none of them sparked any sort of controversy. But if they made it ghetto, but also I didn't read the other one, so I don't know if they made everything else ghetto too. If they did, that's not cool either. But yeah.
I know that the author, because I was reading about this, the author, maybe because of Twitter or social media pressure, did an apology and talked about a whole mea culpa thing or whatever. I'm going to read it first before truly commenting, but I just wanted to put that out there that the author felt the heat and definitely issued a whole bunch of apology statements and talked about donating the money from Marvel to some kind of social cause or something like that. It is what it is. I'd like to read it for myself. Here's the other thing, though. Controversy actually sells comics too, so I'm sure this one's gonna be a big seller. Maybe for all the wrong reasons. We'll see.
Well, you know what? I should have it because it was in like late June, so it's probably like one of these bags that I have sitting around here. I can look in a second, but yeah, I think it's in the bag right there. But yeah, so I have it. I just haven't read it yet. So once I get a chance to read it, I'll do so and let you guys know.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. I mean, obviously Miles is one of the most popular fucking characters right now. So you want to have him in different situations, and that's what If is all about. But people are very prideful of Miles. He's got the it is Puerto Rican, not Dominican, right? Puerto Rican. His mom is Puerto Rican, right? Am I getting that right?
I thought so. Yeah.
Okay. So Puerto Rican and African American heritage. Everybody loved him, obviously, in Spider-Verse and his best-selling video game. So I mean, it's a time for Miles where there's way more awareness of him, and people just really fucking love this character. So you just got to be real fucking careful and whatnot. You don't want to go too far on any type of shit. And then the other thing I will say, I read a whole lot of Miles from the Bendis years on forward. A whole bunch of really thick trade paperbacks and whatnot. And I always thought the writing was one of the things that was the best part about Miles in terms of his interactions with his mom and his neighborhood and his family. And you get a sense of that even in Spider-Verse. So, nobody wants any fucking backtracking with Miles. You know what I mean? Only forward and shit. So, anyway, we'll fucking see. I'm going to just take the wheel real quickly. Y'all know I've been talking about it for years, goddammit. It finally arrived. I'm getting a chance to fap and see all of the uncensored 12 episodes of Interspecies Reviewers. The Blu-ray is out. I had to support the studio, goddammit. Of course, you could see some of this on Pornhub and XXNX vids and all that other stuff. But if you want the truly uncensored 4K with the bonus episodes, this is the way to go, goddammit. I would have been giving this away at Fanime at one of our goddamn panels after Blue got a chair thrown at him. We didn't go to Fanime this year. It was all good, so I can't fucking wait. And then I was talking to someone on Twitter, Bungie. He was talking about how he's never seen this, and he's all fucking curious. If you haven't fucking seen this hentai comedy, just go fucking do it. I've been talking about it for a year and a half. Old Ninja's been talking about it. It's fucking worth it. It's awesome.
I think I've only seen 2 episodes because there was a time where it was hard to find because it originally was on Crunchyroll, right? And then they realized exactly what they were showing.
Well, Funimation. So Funimation had the fucking rights, and they were this close to releasing that shit. It was like, oh, it's on the calendar for dropping in March or something like that. And they were like, wait a minute, hold up, this is a fucking hentai.
Yeah, this is too much.
Because sometimes what they can do with like the truly ecchi ones is like heavily censor it and put a few blocked out things and pan away and all of that, and make some giggling noises. No, that would be the entire fucking episode. That is impossible here. Can't do it.
So I would begrudgingly recommend this over Redo of Healer. Because Redo of Healer, that has some very fucked up subject matter. I mean, it's more of a drama, but they do some fucked up shit that I just can't get down with. At least this is like a comedy. There is a R-rated version. But there's also like an X-rated version. So it's wild. Like, I know a lot of you ecchi dudes and weebs out there, you're all into Monster Girls, and like, imagine if Monster Girls were in a brothel, and that's literally what this show's about, pretty much. Shout out to Violet Myers.
Yep.
She went to Anime Expo was this past weekend, so
yep.
She was out there with her booth and taking pictures with fans, and apparently she's a huge anime weeb, which I had no idea. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I just kind of recently discovered her thanks to someone like has nominated her for Golden Eggplant. So I've been doing research on her work. So shout out to her. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that she's out there with fans. Like, she gets out from behind her booth and takes pictures with people. Like,
I'm sorry, she takes what from behind what?
I think gets out from behind her booth, not takes from behind.
Yeah. I heard what I wanted to.
Yeah, I know you did. Someone's been researching too, I see. So shout out to her. And everyone that went to Anime Expo, so it looks like there's a lot of people. People cosplay, so.
We need to stick with Anime Expo because some goddamn news dropped out of that motherfucker. We saw some brand new Trigun, and some what the new artwork looks like, and then something that both Blue and Kronos have been talking about since mid-aughts. Bleach is truly back, like no bullshitting back.
Oh, and there's
remove all those dead fillers.
I mean, they need to fix. So, whoa, I'm all blurry and shit. I'm still blurry. What the fuck, man? What's going on there?
You moved, and it like blurred you out.
And I'm still blurry. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's still blurry.
I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Let me.
Your camera freaked out on you.
Yeah, like totally like whatever. It doesn't matter. People that are.
I think it's focusing on wherever that white thing is in the back.
What white thing's in the back? Like my motorcycle?
Oh yeah, I think that's what it is. Because it's the only bright thing that's in there. Oh yeah.
There you go. Now it focused on you. Now
it's too dark for it.
Now you're better. Go ahead with Bleach.
Fucking racist ass camera to touch something white for me to recognize. This is fucking bullshit. Anyway, just saying. What was I going to say? What were we just talking about?
Bleach. You were talking about
Bleach. Yeah. So like, the end of Bleach was like kind of disappointing because when they did the whole like Fullbringer thing, it was kind of lame, and the last fight scene wasn't that great. There was other fight scenes that were like way better. It was very disappointing the end of it. So like it died like if you're in the bathroom and somebody just stuck like a bunch of bleach underneath like the sink and just like had a steamer and you just died taking a shit. That's how Bleach died.
Damn.
It's like bleach under the sink, taking a shit. That's how you died.
But now we got something about a 1,000-year blood war, right?
Yes. Because there's like a whole I haven't read the manga because I don't read manga. I read comic books. Sorry. Actually, I'm not fucking sorry. I have too much. I'm fucking in my early, almost mid 40s, so I only have so much fucking time. So yeah, I don't read manga, but yeah, the manga has a whole bunch of other storylines that are in there, including like the actual king, which hopefully this gets into, but I don't actually know. I want to be surprised, so I'm looking forward to it.
So it looks like for Trigun for that one, so it's called Trigun Stampede. and it looks like it's gonna be a prequel to the original. What's kind of cool is the original it actually still holds up. If you go back and watch it, I think you can watch it right now on Hulu for sure. But yeah, the original one still holds up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this because Trigun was like my jam back in the day.
Yeah,
Actually, when did it originally drop? Let me see if I can find that out.
it's got to be mid-aughts, right? Or early aughts?
Well, no, I'm talking about like when did the original one dropped?
That's what I think. I thought it was early aughts, right?
Oh, what do you mean aughts? Like
The
80s?
The
Are you serious,
double
Blue?
zero.
The 2000s.
Aughts.
What? I don't. Why is it ox?
Because it's zeros.
Aughts.
Still doesn't make any sense. Ox. For some reason, I'm thinking you're trying to say October.
No, the like
The first 10 years of this century.
Yeah, the zeros.
But still doesn't make any sense.
Saying aughts is like that's the correct term to use.
Anyway, it's you're wrong. Though. It actually was in the 98 when the first one dropped.
98. Wow, it's even further back.
Yeah, and it dropped on April 1st of 98.
God damn.
I got to look up this Ox thing. What the hell?
Damn. All right.
Also, what was coming out of Anime Expo, apparently the huge, I guess, controversial or heavily anticipated anime, I guess it's supposed to drop real soon, is the, was it Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's been talking about this. I've seen like one screen capture. I guess some dude who's got chainsaws for arms or some shit, some crazy shit. But they were saying everyone thought it was going to be super censored. And I guess the studio that's going to put it out is like, no, we're not going to censor it. It's going to be full on blood and gore and like we're not going to hold back. We're not going to censor. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, it has. The good news is it has a fan base. Like these manga weebs. Like they're already on point. They've been telling me about this shit for almost a year now. You know what I mean? So I'll wait for the anime. I'm fucking excited about it, but you know, I hope it's not censored. Pretty much anytime you already have a fan base that's read the source material, you censoring it is a lot of times a recipe for disaster. They're going to be angry. They're not going to be happy.
We'll give a recent example. It was that goddamn Roach show. What the fuck was that shit called? I forget the goddamn
Terraform Mars.
Terraform Mars. Holy shit. When Terraform Mars was like edited, I was so angry. Like because I saw like the first episode like unedited, and then I saw like whatever Crunchyroll or whatever had, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why are you blacking out half the fucking screen? I want to see the blood, the guts, the glory. I want to see people fucking die and come back. I'm just saying. And then Terraform Mars season 2 was a total shit show. It's funny. The cameraman who's in the chat right now, he was talking about Bleach. And about how we should just let it die. I'm like, yeah, you know, full-banger episodes, the last thing we talked about, you know, it was terrible. But also Terraform Mars, way fucking worse. Season 1 of Terraform Mars was fucking dope as shit. We went from dope as shit to just actual shit.
Yeah.
And like, they went straight, like, the animation style was off, everything was off. I was just like, you can't go from, like, roaches being yoked as shit and ripping people apart to, like, some weird, like, large head bullshit. I forget the name of the Japanese term for it, but it was terrible. So let's not do that.
Dude, and it had so much buzz after season 1. That shit was about to be the next Attack on Titan in terms of its buzz.
It could have been. Like, seriously, I remember the first episode I watched, like, this is the best thing I ever saw.
Yep.
And the whole first season was great, and then all of a sudden season 2 just garbage.
Yeah. See, you got to this is the thing. Anime studios have to give the fans what they fucking want. I got one recommendation. I was watching with my son because he kept talking about it. All the little 6th graders and 7th graders or whatever are all buzzing about it. 7th grade weebs and shit. Tokyo Revengers. Yeah, this is on. Yeah, that one's on Crunchyroll. That shit is legit as fuck. It has one long ass season, like 24 fucking episodes. All it is time traveling Tokyo gangs. And they're time traveling from 2005 to 2017, but like the gangs are fucking violent as fuck. They beat the shit out of each other. There's a whole lot of fucking bullying and lessons on bullying and shit, but it's just a good fucking quality ass show all about Tokyo gangs and shit, even with the pompadour and all that other bullshit. It's fucking good, solid ass fucking anime, and I hope they don't shit the bed on season 2 like Terraform Mars, but I'm on board.
Has anyone seen this new one that dropped on Netflix? It had some kind of buzz that I kind of saw, but I don't see anybody talking about. It's called Bastard. Apparently, it's this weird, like hyper-sexual, hyper-violent, like anime. Nobody checked this out.
I mean, you have my curiosity.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say again.
It's called Bastard.
Yeah, it's called Bastard.
I heard good things about it.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things, but no, I haven't. I've heard a few good things, but I don't know anyone that's watching it. So I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll try to check it out.
Yeah, it just dropped like a week ago. It's like super new, brand new.
All right.
Well, what'd you say, Blue?
Well, no, it's on Netflix, right? It's dropped on Netflix.
Yeah, it just dropped.
Dude, so I looked up that word, oddies.
Aughts?
Aughts.
Dude, you have been struggling with this one.
No. Apparently, it's a new word. Like, it barely came out, and not that many people in the U.S. use it, so it's not a very commonly used word. But the British have a version of the word. I think we should start using that. And the British word for the zero is naughties. We need to be going. We need to start calling things the naughties because that's awesome.
What the fuck?
No, not the naughties. Because it's called the naughties because it's knots, not like the knots and crosses. Like y'all read that book at all? No. Jesus Christ.
With zeros across the slash on it.
It's Jesus Christ. It's probably like a YA thing. Sorry, YA in a book term is young adult, and it's a book series about like it's like reversed. Like basically everybody that's black is like are like white people, and everybody that's white is like black people in the book. So yeah, so like everybody that's black in this series is like real affluent and like has money, and then everybody that's white doesn't. And it's like it's just kind of interesting, but it's YA, so it's not for everybody unless you're young and an adult. I'm just saying.
Wait, so what is the fucking age band in fiction for young adult? Is it like
not 40? I know that.
18 to 20.
No, I read it though. Like I read a bunch of books like that are for YA books. So.
Yeah, I'm actually some of the new Star Wars books are young adult, so they have it categorized as a what is it, YR for young reader, for anyone that I think that's 10 and under or something. Then young adult is usually like 10, 11 through like I'd say 14 maybe, and then have like teen, I guess, and then they have adult. So some places loop young reader to be like 13 to 18, depending.
Okay.
So it depends, because like for instance, some of the High Republic books, they are young adult, and they deal with like some of them deal with like, you know, sexuality, sex itself, puberty a bit, but they still
wait, hold on. Let me make sure I heard you correctly. You're telling me some of these Star Wars fiction books actually have full-on lightsaber fucking?
No, they don't fuck a lightsaber. They'd be dead. Fool. But they do. But they. So here's the thing.
I thought pussies were very durable. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
not durable enough. Like, you can still cut them like butter. But so in the young, so the way that they work it out is that the young adult ones, they talk about sex, and then the adult books, they actually have sex. So
okay,
like,
yeah,
it's kind of. Yeah, it's weird. One of the High Republic book, one of the Jedi in the book, he fucks his assistant, and he wakes up like the whole place is under attack. And he slept through part of the battle because he busted so good.
I mean, Vader was choking folks, so I mean the choke stroke game on Vader.
That's actually another really good comic book. Is actually anytime you see a Darth Vader comic, just fucking pick them up. All the Vader comics, just pick them up. Because like right now, there's like the whole thing with like the Crimson Dawn thing. It has what the fuck is Padme's fucking body double? I forget her name.
Oh, no, didn't she die?
No, she didn't die. That's the point. She's still alive, and yeah, he's feeling some sort of way. And yeah, she's like...
Oh, her body... I'm sorry, you said bodyguard or body double?
The body double. The body double. She is not dead. I forget her fucking name. But yeah, it's not Padme, but basically it's the person the person who Keira Knightley was. I don't know if y'all knew this.
Yeah.
But in the episode 1, 2, and 3, there was a body double for Natalie Portman. And it's Keira Knightley because like almost exactly the fucking same.
Oh,
And that character still exists after Anakin becomes Darth Vader. So,
yeah, there's a few of them. One of them is Rose Byrne. So Rose Byrne in episode 2, she's her she's one of her doubles in Phantom Menace. In part 2, she's like dressed differently, but then she blows up when they blow up the bomber. She's like right there when it blows up.
Her body double is named Sebe.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's rewind a little bit to anime because somebody asked the question twice in the chat. And I think we're going to have probably not satisfying answers, but what anime/manga that has not been put into live action would you like to see? What can be done, what can't, and what shouldn't? So I think we're probably almost all universally gonna say, actually, except for Blue. I'm gonna call it right now. Blue's gonna. I know exactly what he's gonna say, but I think the vast majority of manga/anime, at least for American live action, hasn't been done well yet. In my opinion, but I haven't watched every single last one of them. Blue already has the face. I already know what he's gonna say. It's fine. I haven't watched the one he's talking about. But like for most of them, except for, I'm sorry, the one that I saw that I really want to see that's live action, but it was Japanese live action, was not Kenshin. Yeah, it was Kenshin.
Yeah, Kenshin.
Yeah, Kenshin.
Or Samurai X.
Yeah, the Batosai. Like that one looked pretty good. But what do y'all think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been the most aggressive with the fact that I just haven't seen any good live action ones. I always get my hopes up, or used to always get my hopes up, and then they always fucking disappoint. I'm going to be disappointed again, even though I'm a big fucking One Piece weeb. When they do the live action One Piece on Netflix in a few months from now. But
end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, there's something about adapting for me that doesn't fucking work goddamn well. Like there's so much more freedom that you can have with animation, and they do it so fucking brilliantly with the fighting styles and the humor and the fucking bloody noses and the beach episodes and everything. It just fucking works better.
Why are you talking about? You could leave the filler out, but I'm just saying, keep going. Right.
No, the beach episodes.
Fuck the beach episodes. How dare you? Shut the fuck up.
Even Queensblade, or not Queensblade, but what was it? Witchblade. Witchblade had fucking
and the
beach episodes.
Fucking love it.
Oh, dude. So me and Cake Man.
Marvel Comics.
Yeah, but there's an anime of Witchblade, and me and Cake Man, we were talking so much shit about it.
Let me just, I will say this for like my personal hope, real quick, is that we didn't have a single good comic movie until we had Blade, right? Blade rewrote the script for like decent comic book movies.
89 Batman and 78 Superman.
You're right.
Yeah.
But those are pretty good. But before that, they were all fucking terrible. So even the the 80s, late 80s Batman, they were good for like basically 2 movies, and then they were shit for like the rest for a while until the 2000s. So I'll stand sort of firm. The same thing can happen with anime. Like, I think we just need like a really good breakthrough with anime live action movies and shows. Then we can do it. But so far, like, it seems like we haven't hit that point yet, even though Blue's going to have a different opinion. So go ahead, Blue.
Well, there's only one live action. Actually, I did see some of Kenshin, and that was actually pretty good. But no, I know you guys give me shit, but I saw this before I saw the actual anime. But like Death Note, the Japanese live action version.
I could have wrote it down and put it up.
Dude, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really good. I mean, there's some things that were taken out. There's some character changes. There was no character changes, but like there's certain things that were taken out to make up for. Actually, I have two. I actually have 2 live action anime adaptations. There's another one called Erase. So it's a Japanese anime, but they also made a Japanese drama about it. And it was actually really good. They really stuck to the anime, and if you have a chance to watch it, and then check out the anime and see which one's better, and you'll see that they're basically the same fucking movie. But yeah, other than that, like Americans making live action versions of anime, they don't understand like the formula, the fan base, there's some like the badassness of anime. They just don't capture that when they try to do a live action version. Like they just basically Americanize it and just doesn't make sense. And Death Note was like a horrible or perfect example of why you shouldn't do a live action anime. And apparently they're going to make another one.
They don't even. But they don't even. The Western studios don't even like fan service. Like, what the fuck? How are you gonna be anti-fan service but make an anime adaptation? Fuck you.
It's the Puritan values we have here, you know. But what about the guns? We need to do this. This is what's gonna happen. This is my prediction for the future. I think they're gonna redo Jormungandr. That'd be the perfect live action anime for America, because Jormungandr is about this. It's about a group of, I don't want to call them terrorists, but they're basically terrorists. They're mercenaries, and one of them is a child soldier, and they fucking go ham with guns. So I think Jormungandr could do a lot for American interest for live action anime, but also it's kind of fucked up because our love of guns is killing a lot of people in America. So maybe not do that. You know, maybe not do that.
Olden, you get in here. What you got?
So, I've said this probably since the first month we were doing the podcast, and now it's actually going to happen. Is Robotech? But I mean, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic. I don't know. Right now, I feel like I don't know what to expect, because a lot of the times with anime and video games, what they do is they just take the name and they just put in like a loosely based version off the original material. But what most fans want to do is they want to see, frame for frame or scene by scene translated over. And Hollywood doesn't want to do that because they want to be able to. I know there's issues with plagiarism, like you don't want to copy the same thing, but you want to kind of capture that same kind of essence. And they kind of don't. They kind of want to be like, oh, let's be progressive and let's try something different, but yet honor the material. Like instead of the way you want to honor it is actually translating it from animation to film, and do it respectfully.
Yeah, as much as fucking possible. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. If you're going to make something that's going to be live action, start with interspecies reviewers. Just go all the way the fuck in.
Oh, here
give me
we
some
go.
bird girls. Give me some cow girls. Give me some slime girls. Give me some succubus. And just make it fun. Give me the fooders. Give me all of it. Just put it all in there with the brothels, with the sex jokes. Go all in. $1 billion movie.
No.
$10 billion movie. Right there.
That's not it.
So I'm still looking to the word "ot." It's on Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary has it. The first post on it is, or one of the posts was in 2004, which has the whole between 2000 or zero. It's zeros basically. But I thought scrolling down, it's one of them says, "Oh, the word is similar to I." This word is used for saying something is all right, or good, or in non-ghetto hip hop way. So it's all Jess says, I accidentally killed your dog. Kevin, it's I. It's I. It's like,
but no, hold on, that's different. We're saying the aughts.
No,
aughts.
That's what it says on here. It says it's aught. It's all right. It's aught. It's Urban Dictionary. People make some weird.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm so off of this word because it still doesn't make any sense to me.
My thing is, with anime and games, they need to treat them as if they're books. Because when they're translating book to screen, they treat it with way more respect, and they try to be way more faithful to the book.
Unless it's Ready Player One.
Well, no, Ready Player One, it still had the main story, and the guy who wrote the fucking book wrote the screenplay, so he got to change what he wanted to.
I got an actually really good adaptation that people always forget on. I mean, remember, Image's The Walking Dead was a really successful comic, and the AMC show was not panel for panel, but a pretty goddamn close adaptation of that comic, and it fucking was, must see TV for a smooth ass decade. So
same with no, but Sin City. Sin City's another one.
yeah, exactly.
Sin City was pretty much that one was almost page to screen.
Yeah,
and that was huge success. Huge
we're
success. And now we got The Boys.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about in comics though. Like the question was about anime. Anime is a whole different fucking story.
It is, but a lot of them are based off of mangas. So if you take the manga, you go straight to the source and then translate to film, you should use that same fine-tooth comb as you would a book, or a novel, or novel, whatever. And I mean, we've got when they look at graphic novels like Road to Perdition, Sin City, 300. What was the other one? There's been a few. 30 Days a Night.
Wanted.
Shit like that. Wanted.
But I think,
like they
look at graphic novel. They make movies based on video games. Like,
hey,
Sonic was
Sonic and Detective Pikachu worked.
Yeah,
so
that worked.
So did Uncharted. Uncharted made a good amount of money this year. So.
I mean, it did make a solid piece of money. I didn't actually see it, and I was a doubter of it, but it seemed to be decent.
It's decent. It's more fun than Venom 2, that's for sure.
You always bag on Venom 2.
Yeah, because Venom 2 was shit. I only gave it the score I gave it because of Woody Harrelson's performance, but you take Woody out of that movie and put somebody else, that movie's a 2.
I mean, here's the thing. I haven't even seen it yet, so you're probably right. But
dude, Uncharted got 40% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, but it's better than Venom 2.
Goddamn. Sure. Hey, look, I don't care what anybody says. The one that ruined my fucking appetite was that goddamn Eternals. That shit was ass all the way around, and I knew people defending.
You like Eternals?
No, Eternals was ass. Like, just shit.
I thought it was all right. There was a bunch.
I thought Eternals was okay.
Dude, I was so fucking bored. I was mad for Angelina Jolie and sexy ass Salma Hayek. I was like, how they gonna do my girls like this?
Yeah, that is kind of true.
But in any event, keep trying. Maybe y'all will have a successful anime adaptation. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the attempt on One Piece. We'll fucking see.
But they're also working on making. I think Leonardo DiCaprio was behind on this one, but they were going to do a live action American adaptation of God, what's that?
Akira.
Yeah, Akira.
Oh, yeah, so they've been trying to do it for 20 years.
Yeah, the dangerous thing with that one is obviously it's such an influential and successful anime film, but literally Western studios, no matter fucking what, would say, we're going to put this white boy as the main lead because we fucking want to. And people around the world are going to be like, fuck you. It takes place in Tokyo. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird, and it needs to be big budget. I mean, you could adapt it to a series, a live action series could work, and probably would be safer for a studio. Maybe not. But I mean, look what they did with Foundation, Halo. I mean, those are big budget fucking series. So,
one movie that I just thought of right now that was terrible live action of anime was the Dragon Ball What was it called?
Evolution.
Evolution was the worst.
Oh, God,
hold on. Here's my question though. Was the Dragon Ball worse than the Avatar one?
Ooh. Oh yeah, by far.
Dragon Ball was even worse because Avatar was fucking cringe.
But did you see Dragon Ball Evolution?
I've only seen bits and pieces. I mean, I know.
Man, I watched the whole thing and I scrubbed it from my mind. At least Avatar, I was like, oh, it's okay.
Dude, they messed up Aang's name and they called him Ong or something, right? Didn't they?
They kept calling him August.
They call him Otz.
They're like, Otz. Otz is back.
Oh but God.
I mean, with Goku was a white dude in Dragon Ball. He was like one of the Pauls, wasn't he? Like Logan, like one of the Paul kids or whatever.
No, he wasn't. I remember him acting like before that, but I can't stand how like American adaptations for like anime are just like make everybody white, and it's just like, I mean, come on, are we like for real here? But also at the same time, it's like one could argue terribly that everybody in anime is white, but they're not because they're made by Japanese people. There are some white people in anime, yes. There's some white people in anime, yes. But it'd be like me saying that every single TV show in America, they're actually, you know what? They're Asian. All of them are Asian. Every single last, even the black people, they're all Asian.
Yeah. Well, and to your point, Kronos, I mean, if you're going to do Full Metal Alchemist, they clearly state right then and there, hey, they're of European descent and blah, the Ulrich brothers and all of that, and I get it, but Luffy and Goku,
well, Goku's a Saiyan. He's not Japanese. He's not even playing.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, hold on. Ernie Hudson was in Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't remember him in that show.
Oh shit! Really? Damn.
He was Sifu Norris.
Ernie Hudson, who's also on the podcast a while back.
Yes. We love Ernie Hudson. We're going to erase that. Please edit that, Kronos. Don't let anything about him being in Dragon Ball be on our show.
I'm sure that he doesn't mind. I mean, he got paid, so
Yeah, there you go.
He got paid.
Well, it's funny because like when he was on the podcast and he said like he was also on Grace and Frankie, I was like, I don't know that show, but also at the same time, Kay was watching that show, so yeah, she was like, yeah, I know him in the show, so yeah.
Dude, I know him as a ghost. I know him as a Ghostbuster and the motherfucker from Oz primarily. Like that is it. You know what I mean? Those are my bread and butter with him.
Well, I was gonna say,
that's not.
Didn't they did a live action version of Attack on Titans, like a Japanese live action version, and I heard it was horrible. Like, it was.
Dude, that one needs a fucking. That one needs a big budget though, because of the Titans, because of the swinging, because of the action in it.
That's what comes down to like a lot of these anime live action things. Like you need like basically like an MCU level budget or a DCU level budget to like make things believable and enjoyable. It's like you have to be able to suspend your disbelief. If I'm watching it and I'm seeing like some shitty like fucking Premiere Pro level edits, not on. When I say Premiere Pro, I say that kind of tongue in cheek because the entire Deadpool, the first movie, was made in Premiere Pro, so I can't talk too much shit about it.
Damn.
And I use Premiere Pro, but
effect.
Yeah, I mean most Premiere Pro movies are not like high quality.
But then you go and see like people on like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and they're throwing like these crazy ass amazing videos.
Yeah, 100% you can.
You know how much you're paying for that, but they're not spending a lot of money on that.
But it's not MCU quality. You know what I mean? Like it's not. You don't see
better than like
fucking Infinity Stones and shit.
Yeah. Exactly. There's a difference. You know it when you fucking see it. I mean, look, here's the other thing. Vecna on fucking Stranger Things was like a suit with CGI tentacles and shit. That shit looked like a fucking movie. Like it looked high fucking quality and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that you need maybe a mixture of practical and CGI effects sometimes, but it needs to look fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it does need to look awesome. I mean, the same with Halo. Halo had the same practical and CGI effects, even though I think they needed to clean it up a little bit. But it still worked. Hopefully, season 2 they can clean it up a bit. But
yeah, and the funny thing is, we all remember like I'm going to say 90s and early aughts, just for you, Blue, TV series where they were like sci-fi or fantasy or whatever, and they had some fucking wonky ass fucking budgets. You know what I mean? Like I used to love Xena and even fucking Hercules and even some of those Star Trek shows from the late 90s and whatnot, but some of those times, like you could see the strings, you know what I mean, on the practical effects and that low budget shit. We're beyond that at this point. It's 2022. Like if you're not gonna fucking like put all the marbles in to make it worth it, then people are gonna see through that shit and they're gonna laugh at it. Like we all laughed at the fucking first trailer of Sonic at first. Remember? That's how it's gonna be.
The internet fixed it. I'm just saying, it's like one of the few times where the internet actually made something better.
Hell yeah. We all had a fucking good time laughing at it too. We were like, this is gonna bomb. And they sure did fix it, and it worked.
But I love how Disney brought him back. Disney was like, you know what? We're gonna run with this fucking ugly Sonic, and we're gonna do it and probably not have to pay nobody and say it's all fanfare or some shit. I'm pretty sure Disney definitely paid Sony to be able to use ugly Sonic in Rescue Rangers. But if you haven't seen Rescue Rangers, you guys need to watch it. So is
it pretty decent? Is it pretty decent?
It's hella good. Like everybody I've told about it, they came back to me and was like, "Daddy, that actually was really good. I was actually really surprised. It's a lot of fun. There's tons. It's up there with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh fucking shit! Really?
But yeah, there's tons of Easter eggs.
I heard it's good. Oh, and Clay just said something that's hilarious because as we're talking about like live action, anime and all that shit, Clay said Hercules and Xena special effects do not hold up, and I'm like, you know what? That's what I think of when I think of like live action anime today. Is like shitty effects like that. I would let go of shitty effects for like Hercules and especially Xena because Xena, but it was also it's like 25 years ago, like so it's okay. But when you're making like live action anime today and you still have like Xena / Hercules level graphics, like Sam Raimi graphics back then, that's no longer acceptable. Like,
well, here's the funny thing: even in like 95, 96. Xena didn't have a high budget even for that fucking time.
No, I mean, like Sam Raimi, like that's one of the things he was famous for, actually, that I remember from, is like him doing like Evil Dead and all this other shit for like pretty low budgets, they're very reasonable.
Extra low budget. Like him and his family, they were jury rigging stuff, like using broomsticks and putting cameras on it, like being up in trees and shit. They were doing super creative stuff for dirt cheap and pulling off stuff that people continue to copy even today. If you're an amateur like filmmaker, you're using those like grassroots style Sam Raimi shots because they're cheap and easy to do, and you can pull them off if you do it right.
Hell, fucking yeah.
Crazy. Like I was watching a documentary about like special effects, and they were talking about the movie. Remember the movie Parent Trap, where they had like stuff like that. I think it was Patty Dukes was the character or the girl who played the role. But like it was just her. Like for the longest time, I always thought she really had another fucking twin. But like the way they stitch like scenes together back then was like it was fucking amazing. Like there's one scene where this is a different movie. There's one scene where the guy passed an apple to himself laying in bed, and like the way they stitched that together, there's literally a splice in a thing, and they have to like perfectly lined up somebody else's hand handing the apple to the person while they're laying in bed. It's like. Just getting the timing alone right to make sure that it doesn't look like the arm is like tearing off or something like that, it's amazing. So, I mean, if they could do crazy stuff back then, like that was amazing. Like we should be able to do some amazing stuff for anime now.
Dude, 1994, they had both Jurassic Park, which was a fucking spectacle from a CGI and practical effects standpoint. And then they gave us fucking Lieutenant Dan missing a goddamn leg in Forrest Gump. I swore that man
both of
had
them.
no legs.
Yeah, he had no legs. Yeah.
I swore that. And when I saw that actor, shout out to that guy. He's a great actor and everything. When I saw him like standing up and walking, I was like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? What happened? Did they give him new titanium legs or what the fuck occurred? So you had good effects in the 90s too. Even The Matrix was in the late 90s. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but there was a huge difference between movie budget and TV budget. And then when you go to like UPN budget, it was even lower. You know what I mean?
Wait, kind of jumping back to the whole anime live adaptation. They actually did a decent job with Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Like that actually it was fun to watch. I mean, there were some things that were like they couldn't really stick too much to the anime, but I thought it was fun. Like it had the flavor was there, but it just wasn't. They need to add a little bit more sugar to it, basically. But like, yeah, I thought it was good. I think Cronus, you watched it too. Did you watch Cowboy Bebop live action on Netflix?
I only watched the first one or maybe two. I need to watch more. It was like around the same time where I was packing and trying to move. So yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
All good. Let's get to some gaming news because there was a big ass fucking reveal today. Cronus, take us away for the big ass fucking news.
I was shocked about it.
So God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Sorry, said it all fucking wrong. Anyway, it's gonna drop on November 9th, I believe, 2022. So,
That's
Corey,
crazy.
say again.
No, I'm saying that's crazy because it's like just out of the blue, like bam, it's dropping soon.
Well, it's not really out of the blue. I mean, like Corey Balrog talked about, it's going to come out, this year because it got pushed back from last year, which I was like, I'm not surprised because this shit looks fucking amazing. There's no way you're going to make it through the pandemic coming out last year. Like, it's just, to me, it was like not realistic. And then there's been so much pressure on him and Santa Monica Studios saying that, this might not come out, this year, blah, blah, blah. And they kept saying, this is going to come out this year. And so now they're saying the hard date is going to be November 9th, 2022, which is cool. But also, if they push it back, I don't give a fuck. Push it back, because at this point, you need to make something that was better than, or at least as good as the last one, probably better. Because the last one was fucking amazing, and you cannot fuck up this franchise. You can't.
Yeah, and the only misstep they had was Ascension. Everything else has been a pretty good banger for God of War.
And even Ascension, like, the only reason why Ascension was, sort of bad was mainly because of, like, they were trying to, like, do kind of a lot, because that's when they had, like, multiplayer and shit like that. But, Hecatoncheires in that, in Ascension was, like, one of the best boss battles in the God of War, whole realm, because, like, having this whole, like, weird fucking maze thing and, like, this person's body, it was fucking cool as shit. But, yeah, it wasn't the best God of War game, but, the God of War game that came out in, like, what, 2019, 2018? 2019, right?
2018. Yeah, 2018.
That, like, it elevated the whole franchise by, like, a significant margin, and is a franchise that I've loved since the first game. I've played every single last one of them, including on the Vita and the PSP. Sorry, the PSP, because it wasn't on the Vita. On the PSP. They've all been amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Really looking forward to this. I'm a little surprised, even though they said 2022. I was expecting it to get pushed into early 2023.
Yeah, I don't know that.
It's still May. It's still fucking May. But no matter what, this is a really good thing. It's something to look forward to from an exclusive standpoint. But the other thing I was going to say is, you're still seeing 2 full calendar years later, PS4/PS5 exclusive releases, which is just kind of interesting. I wonder when they're finally going to just say, and they've done it a few times, don't get me wrong, like with Returnal and I think Ratchet and Clank and a few others, Demon Souls, where they just say, hey, this is PS5 only, but and like from that point forward, it's all going to be, hey, this is PS5 only or whatever. So I was a little surprised by the whole PS4 thing, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, there's over 120 million PS4s out there, so it just fucking makes sense too. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty cool that they're making it last gen, but also that you have to recognize that if you're on the PlayStation platform and you don't make something that's also with the PS4 generation, you're going to miss a lot of sales, because there's just not a lot of PS5s out there.
True.
Hashtag, I got one, bitch.
Still hanging on the wall over here.
Good shit. Even actually, Miles was dual too, right? That was PS4 and PS5, right?
Yeah. I have it on the PS4.
I hope they do what they did with Zero Horizon, and have it be for the PlayStation 4 and 5.
Oh, do the upgrade?
4, you can upgrade for free, but the game was $10 cheaper than the PS5 version.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll fucking see. Go ahead, El Ninja.
So are we not going to talk about the 4th of July shooting, or
go ahead.
Oh, yeah,
Mentioned a little God of War, but go ahead.
I know. Well, on God of War, so I never finished the first one.
Damn.
Just saying. I was getting my ass kicked, and I kind of like walked away. So I'm like halfway. I'm just gonna probably go in and lower the difficulty, because I was playing on the highest difficulty. I was getting my ass beat, and I was playing fucking Resident Evil 2 at the same time. So I was like getting my ass beat on 2 different consoles. So I was
Those are 2
frustrated.
very fucking different games. Goddamn it.
Yeah, but I was still
Oh, you
doing
guys
my
talk about
FB.
games. I thought you guys were talking.
Have you considered that you
I-
just fucking suck? Is this in the realm of possibilities here?
No.
Okay,
But
all right.
because I beat all these other games. Those are the
Okay,
only two
okay.
that were giving me.
So you're
Give me
getting like,
issues.
my name is
You
Mayo.
had a
You're
bad day.
being like, I'm
Mayo.
proud you got it.
What the fuck, Mayo? You don't even like Mayo. Like what the fuck?
My name is Mayo.
Dude,
It's a game.
that's two of my platinum trophies right there. The Vita version and the PS.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
All right. So bringing it back a little bit. So on July 4th, which was Monday, we had a mass shooting here in the U.S. Those of you who are not listening, in the U.S., because for all all of our fans in Brazil and some of the one or two of you that are in Ireland, and I think there's one in Great Britain out there listening to us.
Don't forget my homie in Azerbaijan.
We are worldwide. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we got our bots, man. You can't forget about the bots. The bots love us.
Eritrea
What
fucks
happened?
with us heavy.
Wait, who?
Eritrea fucks with us heavy. You know it. You heard me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Sri Lanka's repping us as well too. So we had a mass shooting Monday. It was the afternoon. Some kid. He's a man because he's 22. He dressed as a woman to try to conceal his identity. He climbed up to a rooftop during a parade. It was Hilltop Park, Illinois. Got on the rooftop of a building where you could see the parade. What's up?
I was just going to say really quickly, for those who are international, on 4th of July, all over this fucking country, there are small town parades, some big city parade.
Shit. I think it's
And
me. Sorry, there was like a drop off. I think it was me. So rewind by 15 seconds.
Okay. All I was trying to say really quickly is if you are international and maybe you don't fucking know this, all over this country on the 4th of July, America's fucking birthday, which black people were still not free during that time, but I'll digress. I digress.
No, you don't. That's not digressing.
Yeah, I'm like,
they have like these fucking parades, parades, fireworks at night, barbecues, but a lot of small town parades that have floats and all that other shit. It's a very common thing all over the country in little towns, fucking medium-sized cities, and big cities. So go ahead, Aldrich.
So this man up on the top with a high caliber, high velocity weapon and shot down on just these innocent people. And he managed to kill 7 people. At the time, he instantly killed 6. The 7th person died later on in the hospital. And he injured, I believe the count is up to 20 now. He's injured 20 people.
No, it's like 40-something.
Was it 40? Oh,
Yeah.
at the time, I thought it was only 20. So with his gun...
I'm pretty sure it's 47, but let me just check.
So while Crown's just checking that, he was able to... He was up on this rooftop with multiple magazines so he could shoot, then reload, and keep going. And then he was able to evade police. And apparently, I don't know how far Madison, Wisconsin is from the city, but he drove to Madison, and he drove around the parade that was going around there, and he was deciding whether he should get out and start shooting people.
God damn.
He said he came very close to parking, getting out, and whatever rounds he had left, he was just going to start unleashing on people. So he was apprehended alive because he made that statement, as I just said. And it just showed that it's very weird that on this holiday where people normally just lose a couple fingers, they end up losing their life.
Yeah.
One of the saddest stories that I heard from what happened is that, God, this hurts my heart since I have a son. He's young. But there was a little 2-year-old who was running around, and they found him like down the street, but actually it turns out both his parents were murdered in the shooting. This little 2-year-old's a fucking orphan now because of some terrorist that decided to shoot up a fucking event. And like, I couldn't. It hurts my heart when I heard that story. I was like, dude, that's fucking ridiculous. This little kid's now an orphan. I mean, maybe he might become Batman, but I don't know.
I never know. Prodigy, looks like you holding back some words.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was just, another tragedy. This was not the only shooting that happened over 4th of July weekend. Probably the most famous one for sure in terms of getting the most attention, but horrific fucking scene. Obviously, there's video of people running for their fucking lives, grandmothers, infants, toddlers, all of that other stuff. Maybe not infants, but toddlers, young kids. Yeah,
they were chairs.
Yeah, young kids, and it's just these are very, if you're not from the U.S., these are very common events. You put out a fucking lawn chair, you eat hot dogs, you drink.
The mass shooting or the parades?
Yeah, I was going to say,
the parade and the mass
not
shooting.
the shooting.
Yeah, it's like
both of them,
right?
Both of them are very fucking common. But I mean, like, the parades happen all the fucking time. So when you heard about this, everybody was just, obviously your heart gets fucking pulled on, your heartstrings or whatever get pulled on, but it isn't gonna fucking stop. We've talked about this a gazillion fucking times. There's no real change that's gonna prevent it, which is tragic in and of itself, but people just losing their lives. I think the total death toll, and we're only halfway through the fucking year, is over 23,000 to gun violence so far this year.
2,710.
There you go. Lives gone, and they will never fucking come back. I'm pissed. This is another selfish asshole that's killing innocent people for absolutely fucking nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me. I will take the wheel for a minute, because this is something I don't know I talked about in this podcast before, but I'll talk about it now. All right, so y'all know me. Like, I'm actually pretty pro firearm. Like, most people know me as, like, I think people have the right to defend themselves, but I think that there's a limit for me, and I think we've hit the limit for me, kind of like 2 years ago. Where it's just like people that should not have access to firearms are getting access to firearms, and I keep seeing the same lame ass dumb argument of why are you going to punish the legal gun owners by what these illegal gun owners are doing? Illegal gun owners are doing. So, for the record, the last 3 major mass shootings were done by people that were legal gun owners. The last one, he was a legal gun owner, and he's another gun owner where he had there were signs there for this dude. He literally he had a bunch of knives and shit. He talked about killing a bunch of people. They took away all his knives, but somehow magically he was able to obtain firearms. Like, this to me is fucking bullshit. And I'm thinking, like, in my own personal life, like, I didn't shoot a firearm until I was in the Marine Corps. And, I got to shoot, an M16. It was for me, it was cool, but let me just rewind a little bit in my own personal life, okay? I've had mental health issues throughout, like, pretty much my entire life. I'm a stable person. When I was in the Marine Corps, when I was going through boot camp, I literally had to talk to a therapist for a fucking month, solidly, when I was in boot camp, so I could pass the mental aspect of being a Marine. So that was well before I even had my hands on actual ammunition. So yes, they gave me an M16 when I was in boot camp, but I had literally zero access to a single round until I passed my actual mental evaluation from a psychologist, and then I got to go actually learn how to shoot. And what I think right now in America, we have this huge issue where we're letting people just kind of fall through the cracks that have mental health issues. And don't get me wrong, like, right now, somebody told me, like, hey, you don't rate to have a firearm of this caliber or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Like, I get that, because the vast majority of, like, firearm deaths are from suicide. So you can do the research if you want, but that's the thing. Most people that have firearms commit suicide that cause death. And I don't think that America takes this shit seriously enough, like at all. Like if people are just like, oh, it's my right, it's my right, it's my right. It shouldn't really be a fucking fundamental right. I think we have a right to like life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, but I don't think we have the access. I don't think we should have access to like these sorts of firearms anymore without actual fucking training and understanding like what these things actually do. Yes, should you be able to get them? You should, but you need to prove that you are responsible enough to own these things and that you know what the fuck kind of damage it's going to do and that you're mentally stable enough to actually not cause harm to yourself or another person. And I don't think that that's unreasonable because I had to go through the same fucking bullshit, you know, in my life. And for people to be there, it's like, oh, it's my right. No, it's fucking not, because the people that wrote the Second Amendment and even the Constitution, semi-automatic anything didn't exist.
No.
Semi-automatic anything did not exist. If you want to say, well, you could own cannons back, no, you really couldn't. Bitch, you couldn't own a cannon back then unless you knew a goddamn blacksmith and you had access to a shitload of metal and gunpowder. So no, you couldn't have access to all this shit. If you want to say, oh, you can have a Gatling gun, no, the fuck you couldn't, because you're 75 years too fucking early. So there's like a lot of shit that the founding fathers didn't take into account because it didn't exist. It'd be like trying to explain laser guns to somebody in the 1800s. You know, like it just didn't exist. And so we need to keep evolving our laws to like really account for like all this shit, because this is all new stuff. And don't get me wrong, there needs to be a place to where people should have access to these weapons, but you need to prove to someone that you're not a crazy person, you know, and I'm saying that in a loose way, that you're not going to harm somebody else or yourself. And I don't think that's unreasonable. Like, you shouldn't be able to buy it so, easily. Because look at the fucking guy the last 3 guys that got it. They all had fucking signs. All of them had signs of them wanting to do harm to others. And they were somehow legally able to buy firearms. And people are just okay with this now. Like, you're losing the argument. Legal gun owners are losing the argument of like saying, like, oh, it's only bad guys. Well, no, because these people were legally bound. They were legally able to buy these things, and they still did an incredible amount of harm. So people need to stop with that fucking argument. And I'm tired of hearing it. Just fucking stop.
I got
I was going to say, well, to Cronus's bit about the semi-auto didn't exist. So the cameraman is talking about there was a gun in 1719 called the Puckle Gun. Now I'm looking at it. This is a gun. It doesn't look like your average citizen had access to, because this is a mounted gun. Like, you had to have a mount and place the gun on top of it. This looks like a military style gun. But this is by
even when you say
British
military
guy.
style, like back then, like the average person would not have access to this gun. I'll look it up, but I'm not familiar with that term. But saying in 1719, the vast majority of people would not have access to this, because most people in 1719 were poor as fuck, and they didn't have access to any sort of metals. They didn't have access to fucking, smokeless powder. None of that shit. It was not mass produced back then.
So this is a crew served gun. So it looks like this had to be operated by a couple of people. But yeah, the patent was 1718 by a guy, James Puckle, called the Puckle Gun. But yeah, this is the earliest to be referred to as a machine gun.
So let me just say this really quickly. We all know people who we don't necessarily feel safe around, with firearms, cooking utensils, driving on the roads. Like, you know people that
hold on. Sorry. It's a flintlock revolver. So to refer to it as a machine gun, if it's flintlock, like that's it. Even if it was, automated, it'd be slow as fucking shit because it's flintlock.
Yeah. Do you are you looking at the picture? Are you?
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it. Yeah, it looks like a machine gun, but when you tell me it's flintlock, like you'd have to like strike it, then it's got to catch on fire, then it's got to fucking ignite the. This is not the same fucking thing.
Get the fuck out of here.
And it's crew served, so it's not. This is not a single person doing this shit. And
that's what I just said.
Yeah,
this is at least a three-man job.
That doesn't sound fully automatic or semi-automatic to me, or anybody reasonable.
And don't get me wrong,
but I
think that people should be like, you should be able to have to be armed, but like not everybody should be armed. Like we all know somebody that should not be armed. And if you say to me honestly that everybody should be armed, then you're fucking lying. And then we're not in the same vein of anything, because we all know somebody. If you can walk down the fucking street in any major city and see somebody like that person should not have a fucking gun. They're yelling at ghosts. They should not have a fucking gun.
Even beyond that, there's people who everybody works with that you're just like, you know what? I don't want this person to have any type of weapon. I don't trust this person. They seem a little off. They're too on edge. You never know what kind of a mood they're going to be or what they're capable of in a certain mood. You don't fucking know. And so, do some psyche valves, put some more barriers and whatnot. Just something.
Like I saw a story earlier today where a guy he told a story about like what would happen if everybody had a gun. Everybody had a gun. So say you're at the mall and somebody starts shooting at the mall. The problem is that somebody starts shooting, you go run and hide. You're inside a fucking you jump over the counter at Auntie Anne's fucking pretzels, and you see a guy walk by with a gun, and your first reaction is, oh shit, this is the gunman. You go to shoot him. That wasn't actually a gunman. That was another civilian that had a gun. Well, somebody saw you shoot him, and now they're shooting at you. And it's just a fucking domino effect. Like, people just fucking shooting each other, and then all of a sudden, one guy comes run out there. It's almost like they mentioned, like, it's Call of Duty, like the what's the
gun? It's gun game.
It's
like everyone's just
everybody just kill each other. Just one guy comes out. It's like, oh god, I'm glad.
That's a battle royale. Even though you don't respawn.
Battle royale.
You don't respawn after that shit though. Once you're out, you're out.
But like that's just one. I thought that was an interesting scenario the guy gave. Like, and I think Stitch even talked about how like if you give like a teacher's gun and like a shooting happened, like the cop's gonna show up. They're not gonna know like who's the actual suspect or who's the person of interest because everybody else has a gun. Like he just blends in with everybody else. So like everybody having a gun isn't really that much of a solution. I mean, I don't know. Just at least if everybody had a gun, they would understand how a gun worked, how it can take somebody's life, but it doesn't really fix the problem.
Dude, teachers having guns. My mom was a teacher. Teachers having guns just means that accidentally more students going to get shot in class. Like that's one of the worst ideas I've just ever heard.
You say accident.
Yeah, people don't even believe that teachers are teaching real stuff. You want to give them fire? Like, no, I don't think teachers should have firearms. Like, unless they really, really want to, and even still, like, I don't think that they should. Like, somebody that's reasonably trained with firearms, I think, should have a firearm. And that passes psyche valve should have a firearm. But I think that teachers, their main thing is teaching. It'd be like me going into like, so a teacher makes about as much as like a manager at McDonald's, right?
Give or take, yeah.
Do I think that a manager at McDonald's should be armed at all times?
Nope.
Well, it's not even financial. Like teachers barely, I mean, they have to control a class of 30 plus students. They're already under stress. Like having that all together and then like having to put like classwork together and documentations and this and that and for a full fucking school year, like there's so much other things that they need to be focusing on versus, making sure that their gun is properly loaded and taken care of and like, there's nothing in the fucking barrel that will jam up or something like that. Like there's a lot to come to owning a gun
and
too.
It's also just like the basic thing of like worrying about keeping how do I put it? Like actual awareness and controlling that firearm in a school full of, in a room full of kids at all times, and like not and you have to focus on that as well as like teaching at all times. And it's like, to me, it's like it's a bridge too far. Like seriously.
Yeah. The simpler solution is to screen out people who have violent pasts and threats and are a danger to themselves and society from ever legally owning firearms, and try to reduce the amount.
So I'm gonna drop some knowledge apparently, because this is I guess this is public knowledge. Maybe I don't know if this is easily accessed through the public, but apparently this kid acquired a firearm through his father when he was 19. So his father co-signed him buying a gun. So he did have some not weird. He had like a mental health incident where he said he literally threatened his dad that if I don't get this, I'm going to kill everyone in the house.
So let me just be really, really clear too. Fuck that father. And I would love to see charges filed of some sort, civil, whatever, against him as well, or changing our laws, because we got to quit doing this bullshit of parent and uncle, grandparent, or whatever, legally helping a broke-ass 19, 21, 22-year-old that doesn't have an extra $800, to buy firearms.
Yeah, he managed to, and he went through a psych eval, and there wasn't sufficient enough evidence to deny him.
Well, that's because it's like a rubber stamp version. I mean, like I bet you dollars to donuts, if they the one that Japan uses, if they had that level, then guess what? He wouldn't have fucking passed. Like you got just bullshit. And here's the sad thing, though. We're talking about it, and it's not a real hypothetical anymore. There's people dead as a result of this legislation and the way we view this. Like people that are never coming back. Blue talked about orphans. People lost their grandparents. Like it's fucking tragic. And we just finished burying Uvalde. We just finished burying people from Buffalo. Like, come on, it's yeah.
So on a similar tangent, there's another shooting in another country that day. Like, go ahead, Blue.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm looking at there's a site called gunviolencearchive.org, and that's the one that had like all the stats of all the shootings and stuff like that. But I wish they would have like a category that would say like gang related. I mean, because whatever you think of shootings, like you think of gangs, but like here in America, it's almost never gang related. I mean, there might be like a drive by here and there, and like 3 people might die. But like, I wish they would have, because on here they have unintentional shootings, which is pretty low. But like, compared to mass shootings, it's still up there.
I like the statistics. I like being able to parse them out and all of that. But what you got to remember is, don't get lost so much in the data that you lose the fact that these are literally people's lives. So regardless of the reason, I bet you that person wanted to come home safely that day, and there's truly victims involved.
Well, I just say because like the media or like people spin it like they say like, oh, the bad people are the ones that have guns that are killing people, and it's like, no, it's not the bad people. It's the people who are not all there. And even then, like, it's not even about them not all being there. It's just it's because there's been shootings with people who would seem like they were sane. Like, wasn't a guy in Vegas, the Vegas shooting, the guy who like busts out the window, started to shoot down the crowd. He had like fucking booby traps and shit for like when the police or security guards showed up. Like,
oh, there's even here the guy in San Jose who went up and shot his boss. When when law enforcement got to his home, he booby trapped his home to explode when they got there.
Damn.
So that was last year. That was last year.
Yeah.
Was that the
No, if you're thinking Gilroy Garlic Festival, different guy. That was a younger kid.
No, the one that happened at that VTA. Was that the VTA shooting?
Yeah, that was a VTA shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, he rigged his house to blow as soon as they got there. His house exploded.
Good Lord. Yeah, that one hit close to home because we know a partner of someone who works there, and knew that employee, knew all of that shit, and it certainly fucking sucked. We had to all check on him and check on her and whatnot and see if everyone was okay, because it was some really fucking scary times when that news hit. I will say that.
That was a trip. A fucking trip and a half.
America would look at different countries and see like what's working from them and like just fold that into how things should be done here.
Yeah,
like there's other countries where the shit's working and nobody's having an issue. But then
Denmark had an issue on Monday. They had a mass shooter too. Copenhagen, some dude was out there shooting up a crowd.
I completely agree. I'm glad you bring it up, and that is still a tragedy. I would just say in terms of the frequency, it's not on pace with America. You could do it per capita or whatever.
No, and it's just the same thing with the person that I think it was in like some other northwestern European country where like somebody had like a bow and arrow and was like killing a bunch of people. I'm just like, okay, well, if it happens like 250 more times, then then maybe you'd have a point. But here in America, like we've literally had over 250 mass shootings in America so far, and like barely the half the year is done. Like it's an issue.
On average, statistically, it's once per day.
Yeah,
at least once per day. And
I'm not trying to be facetious or like an asshole, but like these are like literally facts. Like y'all can look it all up right now if you want to. Look up mass shootings per day. They have like a whole website just dedicated just to mass shooting. When I say mass shootings, it's like it's 3 or 4 more people shot.
I think it's 4 or more.
Yeah. And I think that the crazy thing is like the only reason why you don't see more people dying is because of modern medical technology. That's the only reason why you see like way more aggravated assaults instead of murders today is because of medical technology. If it wasn't for that, then you'd see way more like actual murders and actual killings in these mass shooting events. But people just want to throw that shit out the window. They don't want to fucking listen. Just like, no, it's not really a problem, but this is a huge issue in America. It is.
I'll just say this really quickly. We also just got to have some more fucking empathy and sympathy for your fucking fellow citizens, goddamn. Like these are families that will forever fucking be changed by this shit. And we just kind of shrug and move on to the next one, thoughts and prayers, and move on. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? There's just no collective sense of, oh, that was a human life. And to me, the biggest fucking lesson that I'll never fucking get over with that was like over 1 million people dying from Rona. And it was just like, let's still party. I still want to go to the mall.
Yeah, it's like, when somebody I know personally, very personally, when I was mentioning that, my daughter got, the Rona, and I was like, we had to isolate, in a hotel together. And they were like, well, why did you go in there with them? Like, did you want to get the Rona? I'm like, you don't have a fucking choice. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You want me to leave a 5-year-old to what? The fucking wolves? Like, what do you want me to do here? Like, seriously, I can't just like leave these people. What do you mean, you people? Anyway, I can't just leave them to fend for themselves just because they got out of all of us, like my family, I'm the person that's the most likely to survive from any sort of like illness. Like, seriously. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty healthy, even at in my early 40s. I'm still pretty healthy. And yeah, I can't just leave like them to just be sick together and just like, what the fuck? Especially when my partner is like immunocompromised. So yeah.
Lord of the Flies is all right, man. Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So wait, kind of going back to the whole mass shooting thing. I mean, nobody died in this instance, incident, but there was actually a shooting on 4th of July here in California over at the Oakland Coliseum during the 8th
during the A's game.
During the fireworks show, right outside the street, there was 5 people who were injured by gunfire from people. That's another thing I don't understand. Like people who celebrating like 4th of July with guns, because it says
it's the American way. What are you talking about?
You get more American than that. If you're not getting hit by a bullet on 4th of July, are you really American? But yeah, it says 5 people inside Oakland Coliseum hit by apparent 4th of July 4th celebration gunfire.
Hold on, Blue. Did you say inside the fucking Coliseum?
Yes. And 5 people inside. 5, not just one. One, okay, that's lottery numbers. 5 people? Nah, that doesn't sound right. 5 people.
You getting shot going to an A's game? What the fuck?
I mean, it's 8th game, so maybe. No, but no. Yeah. So there's like the site I mentioned earlier that Corona's probably is thinking of. It's called gunviolencearchive.org, and literally they have on here a list of shootings that happened like in the last 24 hours. And there was actually one today in Chicago. There was one in Illinois, Indiana, New York, California. Actually, looking at 4th of July, there's actually a lot of fucking shootings.
Yeah, well, this what I was saying though is that when you have like shootings, like medical technology is what's keeping people from dying. Like seriously, like there's shootings every fucking day in America, every fucking day. And if you would just, what's the better way? I don't want to say the R word. If you were to go back in time with like medical advancements by like just 30, 40 years, and you have the same sorts of violence with like gun violence or just violence in general in America, you would have probably at least a 50% increase in deaths, if not more. Like seriously, because people are getting shot and fucked up every goddamn day, but our medical technology has saved like a lot of people, and it's saying a lot. But it's fucking sad that here in America we're still dealing with this shit, and we still make fun of like quote unquote shithole countries, and like some countries are like I guess worse than ours, but it depends on what metric you're talking about. Like, if you give them the same medical advancements as we have, with the same sort of violence, like, what would their outcomes be? If you give them the same sort of, like, just like money in general, like, what would their advancements be? Like, how many people could survive? Like, how well could they get? How well would they be off? But here in America, when you talk about like just basic shit that other countries have that are first world countries. Like, universal health care and shit like that. Like, people are just like, just saying that, somebody right now is thinking like, fuck that. Bro, we pay how many fucking billions and trillions of dollars in fucking taxes, and we can't have basic health care for everybody in America? And you're just like, yeah, that's hilarious because it's socialism. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you have Social Security. Yeah. We're already embedded in the socialistic, like, style of like care for Americans. It's already there. Like the vast majority of shit. Like this is what makes me fucking super angry. Is that people that are in the that served in the goddamn military talk shit about, food stamps and shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're literally your whole livelihood is based upon taxpayer dollars.
Yep.
And you want to sit there and talk shit about somebody that is getting welfare. At the same time, if you're in the military, I can speak to this on a personal fucking level. If you're below a certain level in the military, like say like an E5 and below, and you have a family, what's the first thing they do when your kid's born? They put you on WIC. That's a social fucking program on top of the social program you're already enrolled in because you're in the fucking military. The military is a fucking social program. You're paid by taxpayer dollars. And what makes it even kind of more embarrassing when you're in the military is that you pay taxes that pay for your own fucking paycheck.
Yep.
You're paying yourself.
Yeah, like all this shit. Yeah, cameraman.
I can say what camera.
So now we're getting to like a more of a like an even level. Yes, Social Security, public roads, all this shit. These are all things that are social programs. Like if you want to sit there and talk about I'm an individual in America and you get in your fucking car and drive, no, you're not. Because somebody built your fucking car, somebody built the road, somebody built your fucking house, somebody did all that shit for you. But you want to talk about now after getting all those advantages that taxpayer dollars are paid for, and you want to talk about, oh, I'm an individual. Get the fuck out of here. You don't even know who the fuck you are. You don't know where the fuck you live. You don't know your fucking neighbors. You don't know shit. You're basically a fucking moron. And you're just living in this weird-ass existence, and you don't know what's going on.
Yep. Using technology that came from government research as well, defense research as well.
What Prodigy just say it? It's Al Gore. The internet is Al Gore. You know, just saying.
Al Gore's internet. Al Gore's internet.
See, now you're like, is Corona serious? Maybe not. Maybe I am. I don't know. You know,
one of the major things is like GPS. Like that was like a military thing, right? Like,
yes,
absolutely,
100% was. Yeah.
There's a whole. Actually, book recommendation. Go read Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson's Accessory to War, where he goes into a whole lot of detail throughout all of human history in terms of advances in war. Push technology like nothing else, not just in American culture in the last 220, 25 years or whatever, all throughout history.
Well, this is the problem that we have now. This is like an uncomfortable subject. Is like, actually on Balance Exchange, me and Puppet Bear talked about it. Is like the weird thing of like the divide between the military and Silicon Valley. Because there's a huge divide now, especially like the past probably 30 years. There's been a huge divide because there's companies out there that are just like, whoa, you're going to do what with my technology? Like, I don't want you to do that. Like, like, even when I was in the Marine Corps, like, you know, Jesus Christ, it's probably more than 20 years, not 20 years ago, but a while ago. It's been a minute. Hold on. Somebody just donated. Clay! Holy shit, he donated a good amount of money. Thank you, Clay.
Thank you, Clay.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, thank you. He said, appreciate y'all for breaking down these heavy topics and tragedies, dark times. Yeah, kind of depressing. Sorry.
Back to the booty scooting.
But yeah, it's like there's a divide between Silicon Valley and the government because there's a lot of companies in Silicon Valley and technology in general that they're very iffy about. Like, what if I give you like this tech, but it ends up killing people? And that's a legit concern. And that's something that it hasn't been even addressed by the military, like at all. They just want to like gimme with all this tech shit, but like also like not even acknowledging that like if they give you your shit, like what is it actually going towards?
Let me just say it flat out, and obviously you already know this way better than me because of your industries, but without the military, without the U.S. government, there'd be no Silicon Valley, period. Like,
no,
the fund,
100%, yeah.
Research, the telecommunications, everything, you know, the satellites.
Look at Tony Stark. I mean, most of his money was coming from defense budget.
I mean, yeah, there's a whole lot of truthiness to the whole fact that without the Defense Department budget and the research and all of that, you get no Silicon Valley, period. Like, full stop. So... But man, we could go down that history
for sure. But I mean, but also you wouldn't. Our military, on the flip side, our military would not be as advanced had it not been for Silicon Valley. It's a circle. It's like the circle of life.
There you go.
Know what I mean? It's a circle of life. And I think that if the American military were more, I don't know, like level-headed and just like. Not so. This is okay. I'm going to give you a contradictory statement.
Mm-hmm.
If the military wasn't so out for money or out for like doing all this shit, but also at the same time, like the corporations that want to get paid, they're getting paid off of basically like deaths. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this weird like reciprocating fucking cycle of like, I'm going to give you this shit. It's going to lead to death, and then we're going to do this. It's like, this is all like it's the fucking thing that needs to stop. And I think at this point in time, like we're seeing it now, like with the if you look at like the last, the F-35, like the Lightning II, right? That's the latest like Joint Strike Fighter. If you look at like the whole program, it went way over budget. Like a single aircraft costs like almost $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And if it rains, you have to repaint the whole fucking thing. Like it's insane.
The hell?
But like, if it would have been like on a more level playing field to like get that technology and all that shit, would have been like way better off. But you know, we're not doing that right now. And I think that's a huge issue for like our tax dollars, like where it's actually going. For me, it's an issue. Like it's don't get me wrong, it's cool having like cool fucking technology, cool tech in our fucking, our fighter aircraft and all that shit. Like it's cool, but at the same time, like if it's costing us $1 trillion fucking dollars at this point in time, and you can be like, oh, we got to be the best, but I don't know. I'd much rather have like my kids have a fucking decent education.
Yeah.
Than have $1 trillion aircraft program, I really would.
I'm going to tell you this. Literally the entire planet, in terms of some of the whole climate change technology, if U.S. military changed in terms of pollution and changed standards and whatnot, but because of the size of it, you would see a change in the planet very, very quickly. And, it would put pressure on a whole lot of other governments as well. But because of the size of it, like if you had more solar and and all of that, you could change the planet very, very quickly with that too. Like there's a lot that could be done. And I'm not saying even change some of the objectives or whatever. I'm literally just talking about a little cleaner and less pollution.
So just, I mean, I can talk about it from like as both a Marine and an actual contractor. Like just get rid of the fucking government. Like I'm not even saying get rid of the government contracts, which you probably should, but just hold them accountable. You know what I mean? Like that's like the base minimum that what I'm asking for. Hold them accountable. Like stop letting them charge us. I'm not saying the military. I mean us as individuals a gajillion dollars. Like the annual military budget is encroaching upon $1 trillion. Mm-hmm. And we're at no active war right now. No active war. And we have a larger military budget than when we were at World War II, including inflation.
Yep.
Like, why is the budget that large? Like, I can think of 1,000 more things that are more useful right now for America than than most of the military. And don't get me wrong, we need a military. I'm with you there. I'm not saying get rid of the military in general. But what I'm saying though is like most of our programs that are going towards the military they're just fucking wasted dollars. Because nobody's holding any of these guys accountable. And nobody's doing anything to like save money. They're all just like, just throw money at the problem. But we throw money at this problem for like the longest time, and literally there's no fucking issue right now, and it's still at almost $1 trillion a year.
How do you spend almost $1 trillion and still don't have any super soldier serum? Like seriously.
For real.
And then
where is it?
You start giving me Iron Man's or, Captain America's, I might be more on board. But it's not there. I don't see a goddamn Hulk. I don't see a red Hulk. I don't see a fucking purple Hulk. I don't see no Hulks. We got 0 Hulks.
I want a nanotech suit.
Hey, I
need Mark IV armor.
Our previous president brought into Space Force, and I'm not seeing any kind of fucking Starship Enterprise in the sky at all.
And also 100% fuck the Space Force. First of all, because this is what makes me even more depressed. When I was active in the Marine Corps, I went to boot camp in MCRD in San Diego, and not far from MCRD. Like literally, I could have ran there easily. I could have fucking walked there easily. It's like not even a mile away. Was Spa War? It was a space warfare thing, and they renamed it because like when they first talked about Space Force, I was like, we have Spa War. Like, why do we have the Space Force now? And I drove by Spa War now, and it's called something totally different. And I'm just like, but that's literally, we had a division for that, but we're not prepared to go into space to fight fucking anything. Think about how arrogant Americans are, just the world has to be. To think that if some other species came from, outside of our sphere of influence, our solar system, got all the way to here, and to think that our current war-fretting technology, where we couldn't even leave the solar system, could possibly defeat them.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to put some extra money.
Yep. Well, yeah. And there's they literally could be microscopic dust mites that all have a hive mind. We don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like,
or they can come from another fucking dimension.
Intergalactic.
Oh, if they're interdimensional beings of war, we're fucked. There's nothing.
They'd be up in the upside down.
We're fucked either. If any alien force comes to Earth, we are fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they were peaceful as shit. The fact that they got here could fucking destroy us utterly.
Well, here's my only thing though. If they're slime girls or cow, I think the fuck could still happen, and I'd be happy with it. I'd go out fucking. You know what I mean? Clown noises included. Let's go.
Imagine if there were space vampires.
Ooh.
You still trying to smash or not?
Look, man,
they're gonna drain you. They're gonna drain you in two ways.
No, I got a question. How cold are they? That's number one. And how big are their titties?
There you go.
I guess it depends. I mean, like I said, they'll drain you in two different ways.
Look, man, brothel, you have to be able to rate the brothel. That's it. That's job number one. If you can't rate the brothel, then you're not doing your fucking job. Come on now. All right, we got to wrap it on up, guys. Blue, what you populating on this week? God damn it.
Oh shit, what's going on? So I just finished watching Stranger Things season 4. I binged the shit out of fucking Superman and Lois on the CW show. Like that, they really put some money into this show because it's movie quality. Like a lot, like even like if you watch the first episode of season 1, like it's like movie quality. It's not a CW show. So either it's like Netflix, HBO Max, like this is some high-end show that they had, and this season was actually really fucking good. Like they did a really good job with this. Shout out to Clay. Clay dropped some funds into our piggy bank. We're still waiting for his book to come out. There's a book called Black.
Delayed again.
Yeah, it got delayed again. So it's actually on Amazon right now. It's listed as being released July 26th. Right. So hopefully get it then. There's two ways you can get it. You get a hard copy or the Kindle version. The hard copy is $30 and the Kindle is $13. But I pre-ordered the hard copy, so I'm excited about that one coming. Because there's nothing about having like a thick like book that you just on your coffee table or whatever. So I look forward to that.
You talking about a thick hard copy?
Yeah, thick.
All right.
And the book is black too, so it's a BBC, a big black book.
Oh,
a BBB, big black book. BBB.
Yeah, big black book. There you go, BBB.
Pause.
What else is going on? Not too much happening. Sebastian slowly getting bigger. Actually hung out with friends. Some of my groomsmen over the weekend. It was my friend Ben's birthday, and we met up at this bar called Middle 8. And at first I was like, Middle 8? It's not like it's a play on middle age, but it kind of is. Like it's a 80s bar. It's an 80s bar. They have some really good drinks.
Wait, where was that at? Where?
Pleasanton.
Oh, okay.
I think they just recently opened it. I think they've been open for a couple of months now, maybe 2 or 3 months. But it was fun. The drinks were good. Bartenders were. They were fired. Damn.
Yeah.
Big boy. Woo wee. But no, so it's interesting. There was like a screen on the wall, and they had there's like a woman on there, and she was like, it was like she was there at the bar, but she really wasn't. It's like something else pre-recorded. But like she'll be like sitting there just standing there and like she'll look over like waiting for somebody to come talk to her, but then she'll like look away and stuff like that. It was really weird how they did it. But apparently some of the girls that were on there were the bartenders. So there's one girl that popped up. I was like, wow, she looks very familiar. And I like look over to the bartender. It's the same girl. I was like, oh shit, like that's her. And so I asked her. She's like, yeah, it's some little promotion thing they do. But I thought it was really fun. It was a really good time. It probably was like my first outing, like out in public, like seriously out in public, since the whole pandemic happened. So it's actually kind of cool to get out. Cause usually I'll hang out with friends, whatever. But this was like stranger danger territory. And then for the 4th of July, we went to Golden Gate Park for a friend's birthday with Sebastian, and this kid acts like he's been walking for years now, and he's barely over 1. Like he was running, he was like walking up the hill, down the hill. He went to go down to the playground. He was just all over the place, and it was kind of cute seeing him and like Nancy seeing us run after him. But it's just fun. It was fun altogether. But yeah, this weekend I need to get back on the PS5. There's some games that dropped I want to try out and play. I'm definitely looking forward to Loki. Oh, sorry, Loki. God of War dropping Ragnarok, but also we get Thor: Love and Thunder this weekend. Drops tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. Sorry. I'm looking forward to that, but that might be the first movie I might actually go to theater to see. But I'm looking at some of the reviews. It might not be. What you guys got?
Watch it anyway.
All right, old ninja, what you
got? So for me, I'm just going to a birthday party for my little cousin. She turned 7 this weekend. She's had like kind of a little bit of a rough year this year, but I'm doing like a pool party birthday gig for her. Probably gonna see some family over the weekend a little bit. Been watching the Orville New Horizons, and they've completely gone away from the comedy aspect of the show in this new season. It's been all like super Star Trek style with the Orville cast or whatnot. I guess Star Trek Prodigy starting this week, I guess. I might check.
Prodigy's on Star Trek?
Yeah. Watching interspecies reviewers in the holodeck.
Them brothels ain't gonna review themselves, goddammit.
I'm gonna try to finish Superman and Lois because I'm like 3 episodes from the end. I didn't really I watched that far because it's like Blue said, it's written pretty well. I didn't think they were going to top the first season, but they've done pretty good. I still think the first season's a little better, but this has got a definitely really interesting story with characters I didn't expect them to use. So it's been pretty interesting to see how things went about this season. I want to see how it ends. I stopped because they were on like hiatus for a while, so I just never went back to it. So I guess they finished the season, so I'm gonna go back and do that. And then probably I got back on Destiny like I said like a week or 2 ago. So I've been trying to get on that and stream a little bit of that. At least I haven't done it fully yet, but I'm waiting for like bigger squad to run with. Recently, I've just been running with 2 people instead of 3. So hopefully going to fix that sometime this weekend. Try to get some gameplay on Twitch on there pretty soon. Hopefully Prodigy can stay awake long enough to play. We'll see how that goes out. And then
I'm tired. RNH is for the young folk.
Now you've been fapping too hard.
Ain't got the fluid. Gatorade.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, Cronus, what you got?
I'm glad to be back in the garage. That's not mine, I guess. Still looking for a home. I'm still, the house went on the market last week, so we'll see. Hopefully it sells soon. I don't know. We had an open house over the weekend. Obviously, I'm not there, but we needed the house to sell, and I need to find like a permanent home for us because my brother's place is cool and all, but it's not my place. I enjoy like being here and like especially enjoying his backyard because he has like a really nice pool. But none of this is mine or ours. And yeah, I'm looking forward to like actually settling down and getting like all my shit back in like my own house. But the housing market currently is like, it's fucking terrible. So we might get lucky and sell our shit, but we might not and have to rent for a while until like the market bounces back. And I don't fucking know, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, it sucks. That's all I got.
I hear you. You know me. Look, I'm already happy. I'm gonna watch Interspecies in 4K. I got my fluids. I got my Pedialyte, Gatorade, milk, beer, all of it ready. And I need to see cowgirls bouncing. That's it. And succubus, and slime girls, and all of them. In fact, actually, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm convinced that some of y'all just need to start watching this. So here's what I'll say. I'm gonna do a giveaway in the month of August for Interspecies reviewers. Let me just get one more copy because this copy is all sticky already. I'm gonna do a giveaway in the month of August. Before the end of August, I'm gonna give it away, mail it to somebody as long as you're in the US. And you're just gonna have it. So that's what I got. Old Ninja, take us out.
Just FYI, make sure they're not a minor prodigy.
Oh yeah, you got to be over the age of 27.
Yeah, no, so you cannot be like digging out ore throughout the earth. You cannot be a miner to get this. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're like going through sand to get gold and shit, or trying to get diamonds or something like that, it's not for you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
If you're playing Minecraft, this game isn't for you.
God damn.
Quick little thing. So it was the PS2 intro boot. Sounds like the clock ticking in Stranger Things to me.
What does it sound like? I mean, I'm very curious now. Can you play it for us? Or do I have to do it while I'm talking? Do I got to do the thing? Do I got to do the thing?
Yeah.
PS2
we always have trouble hearing your
intro sound. Okay, hold on. I can play it for you right now. Are you ready, Blue?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready? Let's go. All right. Probably going to be like a fucking commercial first. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
We'll do it.
The audience heard it.
The audience can definitely hear this.
Does it sound the same?
It doesn't sound anything like a clock.
What? So you have to listen to them together, like compare them to each other. It's not like it's so the clock when it ticks, it's slowed down, so it's like a doo. You have to look at the sound.
Oh,
so I mean, I know it's not the PS2 sound, but they're very similar. Every time I hear it, it does trigger me. It makes me got the PS2 boot up sound.
Okay.
Does it make you want? Does it make you want to go for the border and buy some Taco Bell?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Do you want some Mountain Dew? Possibly a Zima. I'm just saying.
Damn.
Fucking Zima. All right, Old Ninja, take us out.
Oh my goodness. You just experienced Black from the Black times Infinity.
Cowgirl
podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere. Beathan BTI. That's BTHAN BTI. Check out our official website, binhatproductions.com/Beathan BTI. We got a lot of requests about our Discord. So we have a Discord. Email us at beathandbti@gmail.com because some folks didn't know. I guess they don't pay attention to this part of the podcast or something. Yeah, we have Discord. We have an official website. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Beathan BTI. You don't see us, just type out the full dankness. Black and Black times Infinity.
Slime girls all up in your face. Radar.
America! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
Right.